Dry. Welcome into the pregame show, sponsored by Vandalia Bus Lines. It is Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. My name is Tom Hartbeck. I'll be bringing you play-by-play in the first and fourth quarter. My partner is Mike Wagon-Connect. He'll have the second and third. And our cameraman today is, Gavin, what is your last name? I forgot. Is Gavin Anderson. And he'll be helping us out with the camera work. It is a wet one, Mike, to say the least.
It certainly is. I mean, we got here about 6 o'clock tonight, and it has been just a steady downpour ever since. Starting to let up a little bit, but Francis Howell here has a very nice artificial turf field. Going to dry up pretty nicely. Players out here practicing haven't looked like they've been slipping a whole lot. It looks like it's going to be a good field to play on, and we're going to be getting ready to play some good football here to open up the season.
And we sat down with Coach Joe Bacon on Wednesday. He talked a little bit about what his team was looking forward to with Francis Howell and a little bit on his philosophy on character as well. You can also see this on Twitter at Panther Broadcasting and take a look. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Tom Hartbeck sitting down with Coach Joe Bacon again. Thanks, Coach, for sitting down with me.
Yeah, you bet.
It's officially week one.
It is finally.
How happy is everybody for that?
They're pretty excited, and it's obviously a huge challenge on our hands going against Francis Howell right out of the gates, and so that's tough. There's absolutely no easing into the season, so we got to make sure we're ready to roll from the first snap.
Speaking of Howell, Class 6, so it's a class above. Lately, that hasn't mattered for you guys. They have an offensive lineman in the Super 30. Mm-hmm. You guys have a very good offensive line as well. What are the main challenges going into week one, do you think, just off the top of your head?
I think for both teams, a few things is just being sharp at what they're supposed to do. They're going to know what to do, but at the same time, your first game of the year, and emotions are going to be real high. And so being able to execute fast, aggressive, and do your job well, probably that's going to be a challenge for both teams. And then also both teams are real strong up front, and so I expect a real physical game. Mm-hmm. And then there's the conditioning aspect of it too, because you can condition real hard in practice, but nothing can equate to going through a football game and just how much that drains your body.
Yeah, and it's hot, this first week. Yeah. So you're officially number 6 in large schools in St. Louis, and there's nobody in Class 5 above you. There's a lot of high expectations for the student body, the parents, and the kids as well. How do you guys handle that? Because it's been high the past few years.
For sure. So those rankings, they're fun to look at, but honestly, they mean nothing, really, right?
Yeah.
So the ranking at the end of the year is based on what you've actually done, and the rankings right now are just based on what previous kids have done or what people think you might do. And so I think our kids understand the numbers really at this point are pretty meaningless. Mm-hmm. And it's up to us to prove that we deserve whatever number, and Hal's going to be trying to do the same thing.
You guys are a little bit on the small side. How do you guys compensate, for maybe bigger teams like a Howell?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, size is great, especially in college. And in high school it's great too. But I would take a team that's maybe a little bit smaller and that's athletic and strong and aggressive. And not that Howell's not any of those things. I mean, they're good across the board. Mm-hmm. But just because we're a little bit smaller, we don't really feel like that's a big disadvantage for us.
The headline on STL Today did read, North leans on O-line as Payne switches to QB. Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty good assessment of the team so far.
Yeah, I would say of all the groups within the team, the offensive line is the one for sure with the most experience. I mean, all five of those guys were starting for us last year, and so it would make sense for us to lean on them, and that's in the run game and the pass game, and just kind of establishing our identity up front of being aggressive and grinding hard through the whole game.
Mm-hmm. And Kyra at QB too, that's got to be massive.
Yeah, definitely having a dual threat quarterback that can run as well as throw the ball. And I feel like we've had that the last several years, and as a triple option team, you pretty much have to. So you can't have Peyton Manning back there as great as it sounds. So having somebody that can do the things that we need him to do as well as Kyra does is going to be a good strength for us. So our focus is how in the world do we try to start off 1-0 this year and play as well as we can against Howell. I mean, week 2, once it's start, West is real good, and then Parkway Central is real good, and I can keep on going down the line. So it's no disrespect to those teams, but for us, our season is 1 week long, and it's this week right now.
You have any concerns about starting on the road?
Well, I mean, there's some drawbacks to it. We don't really mind playing on the road, though, because you get on the bus and kind of isolates you from everything, and you get into that rhythm. And I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's been a while since we've played in a game where you can't really hear each other talking. I think that might be what's going on Friday night. So that might be a little bit of a plus for Howell, just having all those people there backing them. But at the same time, I think that'll probably get our guys pretty amped up, too.
All right, Coach. Well, it looks like you guys are full steam and ready to go. We'll see you next week.
All right, sounds
Thanks.
good. Thank you.
What is it about the kids on the team that makes them respond well to how you guys coach them?
I think a big part of it is that we as coaches truly do believe in it also. It's not just, hey, we think character is good for you guys. Us, that's not all that important. So we really do try to live it out. And an example would be, I've done push-ups before for cussing, because it's not like cussing's bad for you guys, but I get to make exceptions for myself. I mean, the guidelines we have in place for the boys are the guidelines we have in place for us as well, because it's the right way to do life. And so I think that if we had different standards for us and for the kids, they would understand that maybe we don't really believe in those things. It would be hard for them to follow. But if they see us applying those things to our own lives and we really do care about them and believe in them, I think it's a lot easier for them to understand, hey, this is a valid thing worth doing, and they get on board with it.
You might have heard this before. Football builds character, and then some people will say it doesn't. It reveals character. Which one would you gravitate towards?
Both.
Both?
It definitely builds character if you do it the right way. It can also cause your character to kind of go downhill if you're in a negative group or people that aren't doing life well. And so it can definitely build it if you're in the right environment, but also just the intensity of being in those situations where you're pushed physically and mentally and emotionally. It exposes who you are, because most of us are pretty good people when everything's going our way, but when it all kind of falls apart, like who we are gets revealed in a hurry. And so I think football is good at both of those things. It exposes who we are, but it also helps us become a better version of who we are.
Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. And that was me sitting down with Coach Bacon. Once again, my name's Tom Hartbeck alongside Mike Wagenknecht and Gavin Anderson on camera. You are watching and listening to the Vandalia Bus Lines pregame show. We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take a quick break, and Mike will come back with the keys to the game, brought to you by Athletic Republic. So keep it right here on Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
You're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
Welcome back. And we are going to take a quick break here soon. But first, Mike Wagenknecht has the Athletic Republic keys to the game. Mike.
Thanks, Tom. So tonight, with it being rainy as all get out.
It is more than rainy as all get out. There was tornadoes down in Eureka. Come on.
The key for both teams is going to be about maintaining possession of the ball in these wet conditions. Yeah, it's making sure that you have control of the rock before you make that first cut, because one just slip and all of a sudden that ball's on the turf and going the other way. So ball control in these wet conditions is paramount for both teams. When you look at the Panthers on Zumwalt North, leaning on their experienced line.
Oh, very experienced line.
Very experienced, returning all 5 starters from last year, a team that has now won 4 straight district championships. Lean on the line and let them do the dirty work, especially on a game like tonight, because this is going to be one in between the trenches with them running the ball so much. And really a key for both sides is going to be Cairo. He's paramount to the Panther offense. He's in there as a new quarterback this year. He played wide receiver last year. It's going to be about him adjusting to that position, and what a great way to adjust to that position on a rainy game.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're looking at Francis Howell, it's containing him.
Yeah, it really is. He's a great athlete. I mean, I've seen him play wide receiver. I've seen him play a little bit of running back, and I've seen him play quarterback as well last year when I was calling for 89-1 the Wood. But, Payne a senior, and then all of their lines, senior, junior, senior. You got to lean on them pretty darn heavily. And in a game like tonight, throwing the ball is not going to be your best bet.
No, it is not.
No.
I mean, it's one of those things that you have to be absolutely sure when you're throwing that ball that your receiver, your tight end, even your running back is going to make that catch, because wet conditions, wet ball, it's bound to slip. And even the running backs are going to have real good, secure holding on that ball. So,
well, it should favor the spread option offense of Zumwalt North. We'll see how it plays out with a big matchup between Class 6, Francis Howell hosting, and Howell in Zumwalt North. Few minutes set for kickoff. That's what's up next on Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
If you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
Well, with that, it is officially football time in the state of Missouri. Finally, after a long wait, it is over for these two schools. The hosting Howell Vikings in royal blue and yellow, and the Zumwalt North Panthers clad in white with green trim. Again, my name Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Mike Wagenknecht, and today our cameraman is Gavin Anderson. And as we are wrapping up the Vandalia Bus Lines pregame show, Mike, this should be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah. Two high-powered offensive teams. Always a good matchup. You know, Class 6 for Francis Howell, that's a fun conference to be in.
And we haven't mentioned this, number 1 in Class 5, Zumwalt North.
Yeah, I mean, 4 straight district championships? 5 straight district championships.
5 straight district championships.
So these two teams know winning.
Yes, they do.
And they know playing against good teams. So this should be a great game.
And in the GAC, that too is a great conference. I mean, the Howell game against Zumwalt West is always a good game. Zumwalt North versus South is always a good game too. So as we get set for the coin toss, two notable captains, Cairo Payne and Tim Neslidge. That's who I caught coming out of the line. But it is still coming down, folks. You might be able to see it in the light that's reflecting in the top portion of your screen. But I mean, I'm saying we're getting at least a few inches of rain during this game.
Oh, it has to be. I mean, it's going to be consistent through most of this game. It'll probably let up a little bit as the game goes on. But once again, these guys have to control the ball, make sure they have that ball secure whenever they make a play. And with a team with like North, when they are running these options, the transitions, the pitches are going to be paramount to being. They have to be perfect because they got to get that ball right in the belly and be able to clamp down on it quickly to be able to make any of their offense run.
Yeah, and it's going to be a run and gun style of a game. And I think that really bodes well for Zumwalt North because in the past, when I've seen Howell, they do like to throw the ball, but they're kind of like an SEC style of a team where they have a big running back, they have a big line, and we get the results of the toss. And Zumwalt North will start on offense as Howell will defer to the second half.
So North will be moving from your right to left on the screen, Howell from left to right. I tell you what.
Looking at the wind, though, it's kind of going right to left.
Well, and that'll work well in North's favor if it continues this way because, well, actually, if it's going right to left, it's going to actually favor Francis Howell because they'll have the wind with them the second and fourth quarters. So Howell's kind of playing the odds right now that the wind will stay going this direction for him, and if it comes down to a last kind of second kick, they'll have that wind with them.
Last year, this game, 34-27, Zumwalt North won it in overtime. It was also the first game of the year. So Howell trying to get some payback from last year. Howell going 7-4, and Zumwalt North going 10-2. Zumwalt North ended up losing in the state quarterfinals to Battle, and that was the third year out of 5 years that North has lost to Battle. So we are set for kickoff. And back to kick for Francis Howell. Who do you got on 6 on your roster there? Wagon Connect. We got to flip through these books.
Jackson Hetzel.
Yeah, Jackson Hetzel is the kicker.
Number 7,
Josh Deal.
It's Josh Deal back deep, and it's Isaiah Hartrip and Cairo Payne to receive, and it goes all the way back into the end zone off the hands of Isaiah Hartrip, off of Tim Neslage, actually. And it will be a touchback.
And that right there shows you how important it is going to be for ball control tonight because he had a good read on it, just slipped through his fingers, automatic touchback. Now they're going to start with the ball on the 20.
Yeah, Neslage normally a starting wide receiver for Zumwalt North, but it goes through his hands, and they will start on the 20. So the starters, Cairo Payne is the QB, and the running back is Chris Petrell. They come out in the spread. Pistol set. 2 wide receivers each side. And we get a flinch, and Zumwalt North likes it.
Flag on the play. Offside to call against the Vikings.
Well, I guess that's a good way to start your season. Move up 5 yards.
Positive play on the first play of the year.
I'll take that.
Take it.
So 1st and 5 from the 25. Haven't ticked off a second yet. Same set, 4 wide receivers for Cairo Payne. Man in motion. It is going to be a delayed handoff. It is Chris Petrell who gets around the strong side of the field and is brought down after he gets around 4. And it's going to be dink and dunk like that all night.
Almost definitely. With this rain, run.
They give him 3. 2nd and 2. 11:30 to go. Ball on the 28. Bunch set out to the far side of the field. Payne calling signals. Man in motion. And it's Payne. This is an option. Payne keeps it. He tucks it up the middle. He gets out to the outside. Does he get the first down? He's falling forward, and I think he did get it.
And he did. He get the first down. That was a great head fake there by Payne. He looked. He saw the defender bearing down on him, and he looked one way, cut back the other way, busted up for a first down.
So Isaiah Hartrip is the wide receiver on the near side of the field, bottom of your screen, and top of your screen is Tim Neslage. Payne in the shotgun. Man in motion. Moves around. And they won't get much on that play either. On that play, that was Tyler Oates. And this is what I kind of was fearing, the curse of the broadcaster. They're going to be running these sweeps, these play actions. They're going to be running counters. That's the kind of offense they run.
Misdirection, man in motion. Once again, if Francis Howell's a fast team, you got to try and neutralize that speed by making them slow down and think a little about where that ball's going.
2nd and 6, ball on the 37, 10-15 to go.
2nd and 6.
3 wide out set in the shotgun. Man in motion is Isaiah Hartrip, the commit to SIU. And it is Hartrip around the outside, still churning tacklers, turning his legs, and he gets almost to the line.
Made one guy miss, almost made a second guy miss and broke it free, but looks like we may come up with a 3rd and short here.
And Isaiah is a verbal commit to be a Saluki next August. He'll take his talents to Carbondale. I imagine that will not be the last signing Zumwalt North has. 3rd and 1, ball on the 42. 9:25 to go.
Probably look for a quarterback keeper here.
2 up top, 1 at the bottom. It is a quarterback keeper. This is Cairo Payne. Gets around 1, around 2, around 3. Still stays on his feet to the 30, to the 40. Cuts to the midfield, to the far side. He makes one miss. He is in for the score. Cairo Payne, touchdown Panthers.
And that is what the Panthers are going to be looking for all year.
All year, exactly. And that is his strength. He is a running back. He's a receiver. He's a quarterback. He can do anything. And honestly, they had a lower classman right now was slotted as a quarterback. Couldn't play football this year because he had a season-ending injury. Cairo Payne steps in from the wide receiver role, and I think he's there to stay.
Well, I mean, he came in through their feeder teams as a quarterback, so at least he had some experience in that position. But it's going to be a big-time year for him.
So a 60-plus yard run as the kick is up, but up and off the upright.
And the point after
So a little bittersweet.
is no good.
Well, you can't have everything good happen in the first drive of the game.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
But big-time run. I mean, a quarterback keeper, like we said, on a 3rd and short. On a night like tonight, that you're going to see that a lot once again. Made a couple guys miss, showed off his speed, and once again, you're going to see this most of the night and most of the year from this Panthers team.
So
9:06 to go in the first
Zumwalt
quarter.
gets 6 points.
Score.
Now Howell will take over.
North 6, Francis Howell.
That is so bittersweet to have that happen on the first play. It's like everything went great, and yeah, we missed the upright.
That's okay. It's one of those nights with the rain on the field. You're not going to get all of those. You're going to get the ability to slip. That ball's going to get caught and maybe not set just right, laces out like your kicker wants. But just go out there and score another touchdown quick, and you don't have to worry about it.
So it's Gideon Nebo who is back deep for the Vikings, and kicking is Jonah Page, I believe.
Number 49.
49. 49 is Owen Sears.
For the Panthers,
2 kickers on this team.
for the Vikings.
So Sears kicks it deep all the way to Nebo. Will he return? Yes, he will. He had his foot on the line. He's on the near side of the field, gets out to the 20, and he is forced down just before he gets to the 20-yard line
Go out to about the
by Chris Raquel. You'll see Raquel on defense.
Vikings.
Gideon Nebo will be a versatile asset, too, for Francis Howell. On defense for North, Chris Futrell will be playing the outside linebacker position on the left side. That's a 2-way starter. Gavin Stricker, the right end, a 2-way starter. Then you have a few other linemen, too. Isaiah Hartrip, a starting cornerback.
1st and 10, Francis Howell at their own 17.
And number 13, Logan Hornbeck is that 13? My eyes are playing tricks with me. 18?
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
tell
it's
from here, but
hard
we'll
to
find
tell
out.
from here. But back to pass. It is a quick out play over to Nebo. He fights off one and is tackled behind the line by
Pass is complete.
number 75, Ryan Medley.
And that's going to be something you're going to have to watch with Howell tonight is if they're going to continue to go that route with those short out passes. If North can get in there and use their speed to get on those receivers, it's going to make for a long night for Howell.
And the quarterback is Alex Pipes, number 18. This is a handoff to Nebo, and he gets through 1, 3, 2, through 3. He's across the 50. It's a foot race. 40, 30, 20, makes another man move. And just like that, Howell answers back. 6-6 our score.
Wow, that was electrifying right there.
Wow, I told you he's going to be electric.
He is.
Giddy Nebo. 87-yard touchdown run.
Gideon Nebo with a little juke at
That little man can run.
touchdown.
Well, it looked like the North defender had a line on him.
He
Went
did.
down low, and Nebo just kind of jumped over him. Was able to get in pretty easily. And the pretty packed Howell stands went wild for it.
You know what? I am surprised at the amount of people at this game, considering the weather. And look at the north side, though.
Yeah,
you can see across
there's a lot of
you can
fans
see across
here.
the way. Gavin, why don't you show over the fans here real quick? Look at that stand. That's packed.
Love it.
We'll take that. So holding for Howell is number 4, Gus Hetzel. And that kick is up and good. So Francis Howell quick strikes back. And it's Cole Littleton on the snap, too. But 7-6 our score. Man, that was quick.
That was. I mean, you look down for 1 second, and he's at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, man.
I look down to adjust the down and distance, and all of a sudden he's at the 50, the 40, into the end zone.
I wonder if he's a dual sport athlete. I wouldn't mind him being on track. You know. And this is what I kind of feared a little bit with North. If they get into a track meet in this kind of weather, they're a very fast team. They can get into a track meet if they have to. But in this kind of weather, you really got to contain.
You do. But if they are able to continue to run their offense and slow the game down on offense, they can take some time off the board. And if they score at the end of their possessions, it'll actually benefit the Panthers a little bit more because they're going to be able to control the clock while still scoring, keep that offense off the field and that quick strike offense off the field. On the flip side, because it is a quick strike offense,
yeah,
this game could turn pretty quickly.
So Josh Deal back to kick, and it is Isaiah Hartrip and Tim Neslage back deep for Zumwalt North. 7-6 our score. Kick is up. It is short, and it falls into the hands, actually, of Chris Raquel. And there was a scramble for the ball. Looks like North has it. Recovered by Jalen Lee.
There's a little pooch kick there, and that's kind of one of the things you might want to do in a game like tonight with all the rain. Kick it to a guy that doesn't have, the hands that are used to, recovering a kick.
Oh, yeah.
Fumble, and all of a sudden you got the ball in offensive territory.
Yeah, I totally agree, but it's good field position to start for Zumwalt North. It is 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Hand off up the middle, and it's Cairo Payne who keeps it, gets around the outside, and he gets about 4.
Number 8, Cairo Payne, brought down by number 8, Max Wilson. Gain of about 5.
And Lindbergh and Melville, if you're wondering where that game is on Prepcast, that will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. That game was canceled for today. It was a little bit worse down south weather-wise. So ball on the 36. 2nd down and 6. They gave him 4. Payne in the backfield flanked by 4 wide receivers. Neslage at the top of your screen and 3 wide receivers to the bottom. Isaiah Hartrip is the extreme bottom. Oaks is in motion. This will be an option play. Payne keeps it up the middle, and he only gets about 2 or 3 yards, but a flag on the play.
Cairo Payne carries. There is a flag on the play.
And as we continue to get updates on games that are being postponed. Summit and Parkway Central now be on Sunday at 3 o'clock on Prepcast.com.
Right now, we're the only game on Prepcast.com.
So make sure you listen in to us.
Well, we won't toot our horn too bad. Everybody else is pretty good, too. Love listening to St. Mary's. Bob Ryan, former teacher of mine. 7:05 to go here in the first quarter. Again, I'll have quarters 1 and 4, and Mike will have 2 and 3. And maybe one of us will switch over to camera to give Gavin's arm a break. Gavin, a product out of Howell North. Have a very good broadcasting system themselves there. So it's 2nd and 15 after the holding penalty. Hartrip, the man in motion. It is a sweep play. It is Isaiah Hartrip who thunders forward and gets back to the original line of scrimmage on the far side of the field. So 6:30. Clock keeps ticking down.
Isaiah Hartrip on the carry, brought down to number 20, Charlton Watson. Gain of about 1.
They only give him about 1 yard on the play.
Well, gain of about 6, actually.
There we go. You might be able to hear the PA announcer in our mics. We apologize for that.
It's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
We're all a little rusty.
3rd and 9, ball on the 33 with 6:02 to go, and it is a fumble. Cairo Payne pounces back on it, but it is a big loss of yardage.
And that's what's going to be, once again, the key. Ball control. If they aren't able to score on these possessions, Howell gets back out there, quick strike, boom. They're down now 14-6 possibly. So got to make sure you look that ball into your hands, have it before you make that first move.
I totally agree with that, but I mean, I think the biggest factor in this is the rain. I think we can throw the Athletic Republic keys to the game out the window and just say the keys of the game is whoever can play better in the rain. 4th and 19, ball on the 23. 2 men back for Howell, and one of them is Gideon Nebo. Snap is good. Decent kick there by Hartrip. I don't think they know where the ball's at.
Wow, drove him
And
way
it goes
back.
all the way back to inside the 10-yard line. It rolls back to the 8. Isaiah Hartrip with a great punt. And I think Coach Joe Bacon will just give him a pat on the back and say, attaboy. That's a wide receiver who just did that punt.
That is impressive.
He was back, where was he, about the 20 or?
About the 15.
Yeah, maybe. How about that for a punt? And it is a water break when you've got plenty of water coming down from the sky. Is it hot? What is the temperature right now? I'm looking at 67 degrees. Today the high was 79. You need a mandatory water break? Man, but I have seen first games like this when it was 100 degrees. You know, it can be.
Yeah, it can be rough, but we do, just to pass along, we do have 5 other affiliate games going on. Boonville, Pleasant Hill, Butler and Adrian, Smith Cotton at Moberly, South Callaway, Lafayette County, Warrensburg versus Lift for Life. So lots of stuff going on across the state of Missouri. We're one of the only ones in the area
Yes.
that's going on right now. So
St. Charles County.
Yeah, St.
Yeah.
Charles County.
Yeah.
So, but you can listen into that, and then you can also listen into the archives after if you missed the game or you want to kind of get a recap of what you saw when you were out here. Just go on to prepcast.com, look at the archives, and find your game and listen in, watch, and relive the glory.
So it is a shotgun spread for Alex Pipes, who hands it off to Nebo, breaks through one, and almost gets into the linebackers before getting a good gain.
First down. Grinds it up the middle.
Smash mouth kind of a game here, Mike.
Very true, and Nebo's quick too, so he doesn't even have to smash. He can just blow past him.
And Nebo is small but is quick, but is a decent-sized defense actually for North as they blitz. And Nebo is going to be stopped in the backfield by the host of the North defense. I think first contact on that play, it was ran out of bounds by Gavin Stricker.
Still think he might have lost just 1 yard.
Yeah, he did a good job of staying on the, moving sideways and staying on the line of scrimmage to not lose too much. Same formation. Pipes calls some signals. Now he comes set. Linebackers pinch in. Here comes the blitz, and he fumbles the ball, but he gets it up to Nebo, and then it's handed right back off the Pipes, and then Isaiah Hartrip is just going to say, get down, and Pipes gets the first down.
And once again, slick ball. Didn't look it into his hands. Dropped fortuitously at his feet. Was able to pick it up and run through the gap there. Complete opposite of what happened with North, but that's the way of the game right now.
3 to the top side, 1 to the bottom. Hand off to Nebo. Gets through the hole and falls forward for a small gain. But, Mike, I was just thinking, it hasn't rained much lately. These kids have not played with a wet ball.
Yeah. I mean, North was out here a good hour before kickoff.
I agree with that.
Getting used to the conditions, essentially.
And it's kind of boded well for both teams, but, man, there is a big offensive line for Francis Howell. And the main man on that line is number 74, Donovan Kuhn.
Had a penalty on the play as well, and Francis Howell's going to be taken back.
And it looked like holding.
Still first down, ball at around the 14.
10-yard penalty. Still first down, ball on the 14, 1st and 20. Clock starts to run, 4:05 to go. Hartrip shows blitz. Now it's Nebo with the throw, and it is incomplete. A little bit of a Wildcat offense being shown.
A little bit. Well, you got a guy that can run the ball, throw it up there, and make them think you're running, and then all of a sudden, quick pass, and you're out.
Tomorrow, we got Soldan versus Burroughs at 1, and then Lutheran versus Trinity at 7. Tune in for that. 2nd and 20, ball on the 14. 7-6 our score. Pipes now the quarterback, almost intercepted, and that one is caught off the tip. Nice catch, though, by Charlton Watson Jr., the wideout, 6'2", 216 pound. That is a nice build.
Yeah, pretty good for a high school player.
Again, this is sometimes I look at this and I say Class 6 versus Class 5. There is a difference.
There very much is.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think there would be, but there is.
It is a quarterback keeper. Pipes falls forward, and he looks to be a little bit short. The clock will continue to tick. 3:30 to go. 4th and short. And it looks like Howell will punt. Hartrip is back deep. Again, he'll be a Saluki next summer. Just a week ago, Saluki took on SIUE. Uh-oh, looks like this could be a fake. Defense starts to budge a little bit, and they get a timeout. 4th and 1. Looks like they were reconsidering what they wanted to do. I wouldn't go for it this early in the game.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you
But hey,
definitely want to throw a wrench into the plans, but you never know.
It's raining. It's 1 yard.
Exactly.
You can't get 1 yard in the rain. You're not a football player.
Deep in your own territory, though. I mean, only a 1-point game. With it being rainy, once again, one bad snap, all of a sudden North is in prime condition to score.
I agree.
So throw it out there, make them see if you can get them to jump offside, and then there you get that first down automatically. North didn't budge. Howell called the timeout. Now you're going to probably get a traditional punt right here.
So now the punter is Alex Pipes, and back deep is Isaiah Hartrip. And Jonathan Dixon is the second farthest player back. It is a bad snap all the way back into the end zone. He's got to get rid of this. He gets it off, but it will be out and around the 30 or 35-yard line, and very good field position to start for Fort Zumwalt North. Hey, that's what happens in the rain.
Exactly.
We're going to be harping on it all night, but, I mean,
kudos to the Howell punter, though, for being able to get that kick off.
Oh, big time.
I mean, he was able to get back there, corral the ball, and still get a kickoff to prevent either a safety or a touchdown to give North the lead. And now Howell's defense comes out and tries to stop the Panther offense, which scored on their first offensive possession and looks to score here on their third.
So it is trips to the top side of your screen. Hand off to Futrell, and he is stuffed. Chris Futrell, tough running back. He is stocky. He is a little bit lanky, actually. Sometimes plays a little bit of wide receiver. But he'll lose one on the play. 2nd and 11, ball on the 36 with 2:23 to go in the first quarter.
You just look at that Howell defensive line, and
it's big.
Wow.
Especially that nose tackle.
Yes.
Shotgun. Man in motion is Hartrip. Hartrip on the sweep. It is Hartrip around the corner, far side, gets around 1, around 2, into the secondary, first down and a little bit more. And Gus Hetzel pushes him out of bounds.
Hartrip's got some speed, too.
He does, and he's going D1 FCS, verbal commit, and I think you can see why. Do we have a flag on the play? Or are they just taking a long time to call the signal?
Looks like they are set and ready to go now.
Yeah. First down. 1st and 10 from the 22, 2 yards from being in the red zone. It is a bunched spread formation for Cairo Payne, who calls signals as Chris Futrell sets up on his far side. Again, man in motion, Hartrip. It's going to be a handoff to Futrell. Gets around 1, spins, and falls forward. Futrell, a nice running back, and he's a good contrast, too, with the speed of Payne and Hartrip as well.
Well, thunder and lightning. I mean, that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for the guy that can bust it inside and make the defense kind of commit and stack the box. And then you can throw that speed on the outside. Boom, you're good to go.
You just said thunder and lightning. Let's see how many times we can come up with a
how many weather puns?
A weather pun. 2nd and 4, ball on the 16, just under 90 seconds to go. Man in motion. That is Hartrip around the near side, cuts to the inside, gets around, and he keeps it pretty much in the middle of the field. I don't know how much he got, maybe 2 or 3.
Going to be close to a first down if he didn't get it.
Just short. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. 7-6 our score. Both teams scored on quick strike touchdowns by their running backs. Well, one's a multi-sport athlete, and he can pretty much do anything on the field, but Gideon Nebo, the bona fide running back. 37 seconds to go, 3rd and 1, ball on the 13. Spread offense. It is a keeper, Cairo Payne. I don't know if he got that.
Well, it's going to be very close.
He lowered his shoulder.
We may need to get a measurement. Nope, they're giving him the first down.
That's a generous spot.
Very generous, but we'll take it.
So clock stops at 27. Now clock starts to run. 1st and 10, ball on the 10. 1st and goal.
Just inside the 10-yard line for the
Nesledge out there as a wide receiver. Futrell.
See if they get this play off before the end of the quarter.
I think they might. Cairo Payne calls signal, 7 seconds. 10 yards to Pater. Gets a snap off. Payne to the far side, around 1 and 2. Gets the pass off on the lateral, but it goes backwards.
Fumble is recovered by number 22, Jack Newcomb.
Looks like they're going to call an incomplete pass on that.
Jack Newcomb recovers the fumble, but they're actually calling it an incomplete pass. But that is how we end the first quarter. 7-6. Francis Howell in front of Zumwalt North after 2 quick strike offenses. I'll be back for the 4th quarter, but Mike has the 2nd and 3rd. You're listening to Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com.
If you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
And we're back here at Francis Howell for the Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Fort Zumwalt North trails Francis Howell 7-6 here as we get ready to start the second quarter. Be 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line as the Panthers are driving for a score. If you just joined us, Cairo Payne ran it in about 60 yards for a touchdown to give the Panthers a lead. And Nebo was a quick strike, 87-yard touchdown run to even the score up before the extra point made it 7-6. And we're getting ready to start the second quarter here as both teams take the field again.
Big runs.
Pretty much. That's what it's been. And so far this drive, the Panthers have been able to run the ball pretty effectively. And we've got Payne getting ready to take the snap. Man in motion. Drops back. Being chased by the Howell defender. He's not going to get rid of the ball, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. And he's driven back probably about 10 yards there. And it's going to set up a long 3rd and goal here. 11:40 to go here in the second quarter. A 7-6 Howell lead.
It essentially kind of is a running clock.
It pretty much is. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had very much stoppage at all.
No, they've thrown the ball once.
2 incomplete passes, 1 on each side.
Loss on the play, 4th down.
And you're going to be looking probably, I don't even know if you would go with a pass here. I mean, just keep yourself in field goal position. Don't run the risk of throwing an interception.
Yeah, keep slugging it forward.
Yep.
I agree. But it's 4th down. It's 3rd down.
Oh, 3rd down.
And we got a little bit of a referee conference real quick. As we're trying to sort out what's going on here. I think they were just confirming that it was 3rd down.
They were confirming that it was 3rd. The referees can be a little rusty, too.
Yeah, hey, it's first game of the season, so.
Yeah.
All righty, Payne in the shotgun formation. Man in motion. And that ball is
reverse play.
Oh,
whoa,
man,
baby.
That is in for the score. Glad you were able to catch that one there, Tom, because I did not know where that ball was at.
Tyler Oakes, man, that kid, I didn't even see him on the field, honestly.
Yep.
But he came out of nowhere. That was a triple option play.
That was beautiful,
Wow.
and I can tell you what, if I was on the defense, I would not have seen that one either. So with that, the Panthers retake the lead 12-7 on a 16-yard touchdown run by Oakes. Tyler Oakes, a junior. And we're getting set for the extra point here. 10:52 to go here in the second quarter. First game of the season for both Howell and North. Fort Zumwalt North, that is.
You know, sometimes I refer to Howell as high. So just because it messes you up because Francis Howell and Zumwalt have the same, connotations of, north, south, west. And it's just like, come on.
Howell High.
Yeah.
Francis Howell High. That works. That works. I got to, just keep working it. All right. It looks like they are not going for the extra point. They're going to go for 2 as they missed the extra point on their first touchdown.
I don't blame them.
In the rain, you got to be careful. It looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Timeout.
Called by Fort Zumwalt North.
Fort Zumwalt North.
And each team
First called timeout of the half.
will have taken a timeout here in the first half. 12-7 our score here on this rainy night here at Francis Howell. Once again, the artificial turf is looking very well. Haven't seen a whole lot of players slip. Good cleats and a good, field conditions.
Yeah.
Had a couple of balls slip through some hands, but other than that, it looks so far it's been a pretty clean game.
Yeah, it has, and big runs have been the story. But while nothing's really kind of going on, I'm looking down here at the Howell bench. They got this tent. I've never seen this on a high school sideline before. There's 2 TVs set up, and I'm not sure what they're looking at.
Oh, they're looking at
But
replays, archive, all that stuff.
well, I hope,
Yeah.
but if that's just their film system that they use to film the game, that is the most intricate film system I've ever seen on a high school sideline. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, they've treated us very well here at Francis Howell tonight.
Oh yes.
Food, water,
Hey, anybody will take a honey baked ham sandwich.
Exactly. So you can't go wrong here. A lot of the high schools out here do it up very, very well. So we're pretty lucky to be in a spot that treats the media well and the football teams well. And high school football in Missouri is incredible.
So they will go for 2.
And Payne's going to keep that and push up the middle. And he is in for 2. So Fort Zumwalt North will go up 14-7 as they convert the 2-point conversion. And Payne runs it in up the middle. We have 10:52 still to go here in the second as no time ran off the clock on that extra point try. And we'll see what Francis Howell's able to do on their next possession, their third of the game.
Right now, Coach Bacon's going, whew, okay, I don't got to worry about that missed PAT. Sometimes those come back to bite you.
They do. But once again, it is a rainy high school game, and it's just going to be what it is. So you just got to take what you can.
Right now, we're being relayed from our fearless leader, Tim Miller. 460 households watching, so thank you very much.
We will do you justice and call a good game for you.
How you doing with the arm up there, Gavin? 14-7 with 10:52, and I'm looking at both teams. It's like they forgot their gloves. How many fumbles have we had? 4 or 5?
Couple. I think we've had about 3.
Yeah, about. But I mean, that's going to play the biggest key. I think when we look back at the Athletic Republic keys of the game, we're just going to say, why didn't we just say rain? Because I mean, it is coming down really, really bad.
Oh, and the kick went off of the Francis Howell player. He's able to recover it up the middle, and that is number 6, Jackson Hetzel. That ball went right off his chest. He was able to corral that because they're going to definitely stay away from Gideon Nebo from here on out probably.
I think so too.
But they are able to get the ball to about the 38-yard line, and will be 1st and 10 as Howell is going to take the field on offense. Alex Pipes will be back under center.
And Pipes has done a good job. He's been rushed a lot tonight, and I think he's holding his head pretty high. Because last year they had Aiden McDaniel.
Pipes takes the snaps, drops back to pass. Going to loft that up down the sideline, and that is incomplete.
Great job there by Jalen Lee. Doesn't even touch his man on the far sideline. Just kind of keeps his hand. Kind of looked like he was blocking out in basketball. He kept his hands back.
Yeah, push Hagley out to the side. And that'll be 2nd and 10 now. Pipes looks to the sideline for the play.
And the running backs are shaded towards Nebo's side.
Takes a snap, looks for the option. Pipes going to take it up the middle. He's going to get knocked down pretty quickly. That's number 9, Max Martin, senior inside linebacker. There is a flag on the play.
And the biggest guy on the field is Deshaun Williams. Is he marked as a starter
Personal
on that?
foul on the defense.
Oh, dang. Sorry about that, Mike.
Oh, that's okay. And that's going to give Francis Howell a 1st down. That's a big play for Francis Howell, because that was going to be a 3rd and long coming up. And now they're going to have 1st down in Fort Zumwalt North territory. 10:30 to go. Here's the clock starts again. Pipes will be back in shotgun formation. Trips on the far side. Pipes takes a snap, fakes the handoff, rushes up the middle. He's going to get about 3 yards there on 1st down.
And I'm trying to see what player it was, but Brandon Mahoney got the beat on his man, and he was biting on Gideon Nebo, and he didn't have the ball.
And 2nd and 8 here. Pipes takes a snap low, throws it to the far side, caught at about the 35-yard line. And Reed Weber with the catch there. Going to bring up 3rd and 1. And then watch for the ball to go to Nebo probably here. And that's to Nebo up the middle. He's going to get the first down and a few more. Gets down to about the 30-yard line for a first down.
You know, every time I've seen Nebo get tackled, he's getting tackled, but when he falls to the ground, the tackler is wrapping him up by the legs.
Mhm.
The whole body is springing forward through the tackle, and he's getting that extra yard. He's getting that extra couple of feet, and that might pay dividends.
And we got split wide receivers, 2 on the far side, 2 on the near side, as Pipes gets the call in from the sideline. Nebo to our closest to us. Got another option play. Pipes up the middle. He is going to score. Touchdown, Francis Howell. The middle just opened up like the Red Sea there, and he just took it right down the middle for a 30-yard touchdown run.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because it was a designed, actually read option play, and Nebo didn't have a hole, so he kept it. Nice read there by Pipes, and he just explodes right up the middle. And I don't think Zumwalt North was even ready for it, and they run a 3-4 defense.
I think I saw Pipes' eyes get wide from up here, and I'm looking at the backside of his helmet.
Yeah.
Kick is up and good. And with 9:06 to go here in the second quarter, we have a 14-14 game here between Francis Howell and Fort Zumwalt North. I think this game is going pretty much exactly how we thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I don't think any team's going to get the beat on each other, to be honest, because of the conditions, because of how, I mean, it's only, is it still raining? Yeah, it's still coming down. But, I mean, it's wet. It's cold for the time of year. It's windy. It doesn't feel like it's 76 degrees. It feels like it's in the 50s. You know, and you're out there playing, and you're trying to fight through the water coming down your face mask and fighting the water on the ball. It's tough. And whoever's really going to win this war of attrition is going to win this game. You know, last year it did go into overtime. And if we keep this up, I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Yeah, it's probably going to come down to the last possession of the game. And whoever has the ball last will win this game probably, obviously. Especially if we get to overtime. And with the wind blowing from, right to left here, so far, Howell's choice to defer and to take the left side early is going to give them the benefit when it gets down to the end of the game. And here's the kickoff. That's going to be kicked deep.
Woo!
And out of the end zone. He got a hold of that one. And we got a penalty flag after the play.
That's going to be unsportsmanlike,
had some
probably.
had some extracurricular activity there. We'll see which direction it goes.
Personal foul.
And that's going to be on the kicking team.
Personal foul against the Vikings.
And you could tell there near the end of that run, one of the Howell players kind of lowered his head into the North player.
Yeah, it's normal. Joey, if you remember right, a few years ago, Joey Bosa did that, I think, in the national championship game for Ohio State. Boom, gone.
Exactly. It's not something you want to have happen, and it's going to give them great field possession. 15-yard penalty puts it at the 35-yard line. It takes a little bit of the sting out of that touchdown there, especially if they can score here. Payne in the shotgun right now. Man in motion, Oaks, and we're going to get a false start.
Yeah, 2 men moved. I think that might have been Futrell that moved.
And that'll drop it back 5 yards.
Yeah, it looked like Futrell kind of flinched on the sweep play. Yeah, look at this. You've got I know you can't see this, but the whole offense of Howell is looking at the previous thing. This is the most advanced thing I've seen on a high school sideline, let me tell you.
And Payne back in shotgun, motion, hard trip. Cairo sweeps it to the left side, cuts back to the middle, gets close to the line of scrimmage, and gets about another yard past that. So we'll bring up 2nd and 9. 6-yard gain there by Cairo Payne as he went to the left, cut it back to the middle when he found a hole, and brings up a 2nd and 9. Make that 2nd and 8.
You know, sometimes you look at the scoreboard and it's not even right. Doesn't it just bug you?
I'll use my eyes. I'll figure it out. All right, Payne back in shotgun, trips to the near side. Nobody on the far side. Payne takes it, keeps it to the left side. He's going to bust out, get near the first down and more. Gets out of bounds close to the 50-yard line. Picks up a first down.
Right at midfield.
And once again, talking about Cairo Payne, he is their playmaker.
Oh, yeah.
And if he gets some room, he's gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this team would look like without him because he's such an integral part. Because when I look at how he plays, he's just getting the ball, and in that split second, he knows I'm either going to run, hand it off to Chris behind me, or I'm just going to throw a little out pass.
And being able to read that defense is huge for a quarterback. Man in motion. And he's going to get the ball up the middle. That's Hartrip. He cuts to the left side, and he's going to get down close to the 30-yard line of Francis Howell. Big-time run there.
Sometimes you wonder why he didn't go higher. You know, why he didn't go to a higher school. But you know what? I think it's a good fit for him because he'll go to SIU and play.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
He will. And you can see the talent right there. He was able to take the sweep, go right, cut left, get a big 18-yard gain for a first down, puts the Panthers back into Francis Howell territory. And we talked about this earlier. If they're able to control the clock, doesn't matter how quickly Francis Howell scores because they can control the clock. Payne back in the shotgun. Two receivers to the far side, one to the near. Payne hands that ball up the middle.
Nice
We're
run.
Close to a first down.
Look, yeah.
And that's Futrell with the carry. Brings up 2nd and 1. 7:15 to go here in the second quarter. 14-14 for Zumwalt North Panthers and Francis Howell Vikings. And I tell you what, they've had this play clock installed in high school for a while. I'm still getting used to it.
I don't believe in the play clock, honestly, in high school.
And Payne under center, trips to the far side. No one on the near side. Man in motion. Payne's going to keep it. Punches it up the middle. Looks like he's going to be close to the first down, and it's going to get that. And a first down for the Panthers as they continue to drive deep into Francis Howell territory. Going to be at the 21-yard line. 21 yards from pay dirt.
Ball now marked inside the 22. Right at the 21.
And we have two receivers to the near side, two to the far side.
Zumwalt, north.
Payne under center. Or in the shotgun, I apologize. In the shotgun. Man in motion. Hard trip to the outside. That's going to be up the middle for Futrell. Going to get about 5 to 6 yards there on first down. Continuing to drive deeper into Francis Howell territory. 6:04 to go here in the second quarter.
Some vocal fans. Some vocal fans, let me tell you.
That's what I love about high school football. People are involved.
I once heard a girl ask a kid out to prom who just scored a touchdown. Seriously.
2nd and 4 here. Payne gets the play from the sideline. Futrell behind him in the I formation. Man in motion. That's Hartrip. Payne's going to take it to the left side. Cuts it back to the middle. Going to be close to the first down marker.
Payne on the quarterback keeper.
And they're giving him the first down. We're going to be first and goal coming up.
Max Wilson on the tackle.
And you know, it just leans I can't say the word. It just lends itself to the kind of football that a option spread runs. These conditions, I think Joe Bacon probably can go, oh, okay, let's just run the ball.
Makes the decisions a lot easier.
I think so,
Put
too.
it that way. Payne back in the shotgun. 2 receivers near, 1 far. Oaks in motion. Payne hands it off to Oaks. He's going to get about 2 yards before driven back. We'll see where they end up spotting this ball if they give him forward progress.
I think they will, because he was pushing pretty hard, and he almost spinned off his man real quickly if he would have just timed the spin a little bit. But they're going to say 2nd down and 6.
So he does gain 2 yards, or 1 yard, gets it down to the 6-yard line.
Looks like the rain may have relented a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Now it's just going to be cold down there for him.
Yeah.
2nd and goal here from the 6-yard line.
Not to mention the pellets.
Man in motion is Hartrip. He's going to take the ball, cut it up the middle,
There's
and
a
he
hole.
is in for the score.
Isaiah. Man, what a run. He was looking to pull around the outside and then said, whoop, nope, hole. Bunny hop to the right side, pushed right in.
And the Panthers' offensive line's been doing a great job opening up those holes in the middle. And that's tough to do against a big defensive line that Francis Howell has. And looks like we're going to bring in the kicker back out to try the extra point. 3:59 to go here in the first half.
Holding is Jack Newcomb.
Jack Newcomb will hold for Owen Sears.
Owen Sears looking to put the Panthers up by 7.
Here they come.
And that is up and off the pipe again.
Ah.
2 times that extra point's been pushed to the right and off the post. But it is still 20-14 Panthers with 3:59 to go.
You know, I wonder if he's slipping a little bit on his plant foot, not his kicking foot, or maybe his cleat, has a weird design to it, because we all know how Nike and Adidas and Under Armour like to get crazy with those designs. You have a weird ridge on that foot, that ball is going to go way to the right, way to the left. Anything will push that offline.
But the Panthers are up 20-14 here in the first half of this game. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap a little bit about what's happened in the first half. We'll let you listen into the band if they take the field. We'll see if they do. With the rain, not so sure, but they might. So we'll let you listen into the band a little bit as well if they are out on the field.
Looks like dancers might be coming out.
Always. You can't have a high school football halftime without
Cheerleaders.
the cheerleaders, the drill team, and really the band too. You got to have the band. But being in band, you don't want to play on a rainy night.
Yeah, we were both in band.
We were both in band.
When we were in high school. I mean, it was tough. I couldn't. I had to play Game 7 of a World Series. Nobody in the stands. My high school was killing Parkway South 69 to something. I don't know what it is, but we just said, let's go home. And on a night like tonight, if you're in band, yeah, you don't want to be sitting in the stands.
All right, Owen Sears has it teed up.
Owen Sears to kick.
And that's Pooch low again as they want to stay away from Nebo, but that's going to go out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
And a penalty flag as that ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff will give Francis Howell very good field position as they take control on their 4th possession. Down 6 with 3:59 to go here in the first half. And that's the risk you run when you're trying to keep the ball away from a certain player.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it just right, it's going to go out of bounds and you're going to give up a good 15 yards.
Yeah, you really are, because it's just like, hey, risk versus reward. Risk, he could take it 100 yards. Reward, we can get out of it with nothing.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, I guess I'll take nothing, but it's going to be harder.
And we've got that Wildcat formation again as Gideon Nebo is going to be in the shotgun, taking the snap. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. See if he throws it or runs. And he's going to throw that to the outside. And number 11 avoids 2 tackles. But he's still not going to get much. May lose a yard. That's Reed Weber. He made 2 Panthers miss pretty quickly. But still may lose a yard as there are a host of Panthers prowling around there.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the 34.
And Pipes back under the quarterback position, takes the snap, going to run the option, up the middle again. Looks like he's going to get about a yard or two to bring up 3rd and long.
And it was Cairo Payne with a big hit.
Tackle by number 9, Max Martin.
Oh, no, they called it to Martin. How about that?
That's a couple sec, make that 3rd down, 3rd and 9.
And quickly back to the line. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Nebo to the left of Pipes. Pipes drops back to throw. He's going to run it up the middle as he's pressured, and he's going to get dropped for a 2-yard loss on the sack.
Under pressure, brought down by Max Martin.
And that's a huge, huge defensive stand for the Panthers after scoring to take the lead. Going to give them plenty of time to work their offense. Timeout, Fort Zumwalt North.
Unfortunate on that play, but Parker Flory for Francis Howell had 5 yards on Jalen Lee, and he didn't get the pass.
Well, that's what pressure's going to do for you, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Pipes had just a second or two to look, couldn't release the ball, had felt that pressure, tried to get up the middle, and was dropped for a 2-yard loss. And it's going to bring up 4th and 11 from the 34, 3:11 to go here in the first half. Panthers looking to get the ball back and run the clock down to halftime and maybe get another score here to take a 2-possession lead going into the half. But we'll see. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, that would be ideal if they could get the 2-possession lead with 3:11 to go. I mean, yeah, you could do it.
And Pipes is looking like he's back to punt.
Hartrip is back deep.
Watch out for something special here.
Good punt. Let it go.
And that's exactly what Isaiah Hartrip will do.
Alex Pipes on the punt.
That's going to be at about the 20-21.
3-yard line. We'll wait for the mark.
And the Panthers are going to gain possession here with 3:02 to go here in the first half. We'll see where they mark this ball. They keep walking it back. Looks like it'll be about the 23-yard line, so they'll take over from their own 23.
They'll take it. That's a touchback.
Hey, you know, after 3 and out, after scoring a touchdown, they'll take it, and if they can control and not go 3 and out themselves, they'll count that as a win. And we've got 2 wide receivers wide to the far side, 1 to the near. Payne with Futrell behind him in the I formation. Oaks in motion. Futrell's going to get the ball. Busts it up the middle for about 2 yards. And the clock will start to run.
Oh, man, the
And
scoreboard's
we just lost
out.
the scoreboard, but that's okay. We'll keep you rolling.
Oh, there we go. Thank God. Woo. You know, one time I called a game and the entire lights everywhere went out.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yep, that is rough. Wasn't even raining. Just boom.
When we talk about how well this field has been conditioned, we were talking earlier about how glad we are this isn't a natural grass game with mud, not being able to see anything. Oaks in motion, and that ball is going to be kept by Payne. He's going to run up the middle, and he's stopped and met at about the 29-yard line, pushed back a little bit. He's going to get forward progress there. Going to bring up about 3rd and 6.
Man, Oaks is going in motion and no one's covering him. It's like they're becoming predictable that Payne is going to keep the ball, but Oaks, man, he's got speed.
He does. We've seen it already tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do a wide receiver pitch. You know, that would be a nice play. Or a counter, wide receiver counter play.
Well, they ran the triple option earlier, or the triple reverse earlier. Payne, under
Cornerbacks
shotgun.
are
Here
bunched.
comes Hartrip. Hartrip's going to take the ball up the middle, and he's going to be stopped and met quickly. Gains just about a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th and 3. So Francis Howell has their own huge defensive stop.
Well, Hartrip slipped. Hartrip was cutting up through a hole, had a huge one, He just had to kind of lower his shoulder and then spin out of it, and he would have been up the sideline. But I think he slipped just a little bit and then fell into his man.
And it looks like we're going to have a timeout for Francis Howell as well. They want to stop that clock with 1:34 left, get the ball back, and hope for a chance to score quickly before the half to even up or take the lead. As it's 20-14 here. Fort Zumwalt North leads Francis Howell, 1:34 to go in the first half. First game of the season for us. Tom Hartbeck, Gavin Anderson, Michael Wagenknecht. We'll be with you all season. So every Fort Zumwalt North Panther game you'll hear right here on Prepcast.com. So get used to us.
Yeah, please. You know, my inane bantering, because neither of us played football, but we'll do our best. And us giving Gavin a hard time about his arm. It's all right.
And Isaiah Hartrip will be back to punt. The last time he was back out to punt, he boomed it.
He did.
And pinned Francis Howell deep inside their 10-yard line. Two guys back for Howell. We got Gideon Nebo and Jackson Hetzel, both back. And now we're looking like be careful of a fake here, as Francis Howell is getting a guy off the line. And Hartrip's going to drop back. Snap is good. Kick is not as good as the last one, and that's going to go out just inside the 45-yard line at about the 43. Actually, no, they're giving him a little bit more, about the 46. So not as good a punt for Isaiah Hartrip that time. It's going to give Francis Howell very good field position with 1:29 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, they certainly can get possibly the lead, with a minute. If they can get a nice run by Nebo, catch a break in the line.
Well, Fort Zumwalt North came out very, very good on that last possession, 3 and out. Francis Howell came out with a Wildcat. Nebo pass to the outside, drop for a 2-yard loss, and kind of set them back. But here they got Pipes in the shotgun, 2 receivers near, 2 to the far side. Nebo closer to us, to Pipes' left. And they've been running the option very well here. Pipes back to pass, launches it, and that's going to be picked off. Picked off by the Panthers, and that's going to go in close to the end zone, and he is in for the score.
Hartrip. Wow.
He stepped right in front of that. He saw that, read it all the way, stepped in front, and took it a good 50 yards for the touchdown. Wow, how that turned quickly.
And that is going to really, really change the tone of Joe Bacon's halftime talk.
That was very impressive by Isaiah Hartrip. Once again, seeing why he's going to play D1 FCS. He read the eyes of Pipes, stepped in front of the pass, and took it to the house.
Haven't mentioned this today, but first game sponsored by Swim Theory. Swim first, then decide. SwimTheory.com.
And we're getting set for the extra point attempt. It looks like they're going to go for 2 once again after the missed extra point on the last touchdown. And we are going to get a timeout for Fort Zumwalt North. 1:19 to go. That's their third and final timeout of the half, as they figure out what they're going to want to do here with the 26-14 lead.
With 119 to go. I'm not sure if it really matters if you go for 2 or not, but it won't hurt anything. I know you're playing percentages there, kind of.
Percentages, yes. I mean, for me, I like my nice round football numbers.
Yes.
28 is easier to remember than 27 or 26. I'd much rather be up by 2 full scores because, as you saw, as we've seen so far, Francis Howell is a very quick strike offense, and you really want to try and maximize the amount of points you have when you can get them. And with the field being the way it is and wet, and if you're not getting a good plant on those kicks, you don't want to mess your kicker up for the rest of the season with something he can't really control. You can't control a wet field, so if he's not planting, he misses a couple extra points. You don't want to hurt the psyche. So protect your kicker and still get some points when you can because the offense is working so far. Man in motion is Hartrip. Payne in the shotgun. He's going to keep that and bust out to the right side, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. That is good, and it's now 28-14 for Zumwalt North.
And the floodgates could start to open a little bit.
1 minute.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't put this game away just yet.
No, I wouldn't put it away. But you're up by 2 scores before halftime. You get up by 3. Pretty easy.
Yep, you very well could. And once again, we talked about this earlier, controlling the clock.
Yeah.
Fort Zumwalt North has that offense that allows you to control the clock if you continue to make your first downs. It's, wham, bam, and a cloud of dust, essentially. Yeah. So if they're able to get the lead like we have right now, 2 scores right now, maybe you get up by 3. Now you got to remember Francis Howell is going to receive the second half kickoff. If you're able to stop them on that first possession, maybe score and go up 3, run your offense the way you're supposed to run it, you can control this game a little bit more, but you just got to be careful.
Yeah, you really do, and I think the rain, I have to look at the radar, but I don't see it coming down really anymore. So that might cease to be a problem, but the ball's still going to be wet
the
whole time.
Still going to be wet, and once again, the temperature is dropping a little bit. We're probably in the 50s, 60s tonight, so not cold, but definitely not what they're used to practicing in right now.
Oh, no.
And the kick is pooched again, and that's going to go out of bounds again. So another
That's a flag
on the play.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. That ball went out right about where they're going to get it anyway. So.
Yeah. I don't understand why that is a penalty if the kicker kicks the ball out of bounds. Because do they do it on purpose? No.
I think it's more of a delay of game aspect.
Yeah.
It's.
Because it's entitled illegal procedure.
Exactly.
It's like, what's illegal? I tried to kick it in bounds and I kicked it out of bounds.
It looks like they're actually going to make them re-kick the ball. So they're going to drop it back 5 yards and make the Panthers re-kick.
The Panthers will re-kick.
And that's Owen Sears. And Francis Howell's just trying to get his best field position as possible, maybe give Nebo a chance to come up on the ball and bust a couple tackles. And that's pooched again. And that one is going to go out of bounds once again.
Oof.
We'll see if they make them re-kick once again.
5 more yards.
And that they will. They're going to make them re-kick again. No time's going off the clock, and really they're just adding yardage to where they're going to probably get this ball. So we'll be back to the 30-yard for the kickoff now. And you can still kick this ball inbounds and not let Nebo get near it.
I agree with that. I mean, just kick it straight.
Pretty much,
on the ground. I wish I could remember what the actual shape of a football is called. I know it's something like a really weird name.
And here we go again.
There we go.
That is pooch to the right side, and Nebo's going to knock it down and gain control. The cut to the left, found a little bit of a hole, and he's down the sideline. And he's going to be knocked down out of bounds just about the 45 of Francis Howell. Electric stuff there from Gideon Nebo. And that's exactly what Howell was looking for with having them re-kick and re-kick and re-kick. Is he got the chance to get his hands on the ball and puts Francis Howell into Panther territory with 1:10 to go and a chance to score some points.
I wonder if Nebo has many offers because he is small. If he doesn't, a team locally like Lindenwood or McKendree or Missouri S&T, somebody like that, would love to have him.
And Pipes is going to be brought down for a loss of 3.
Back inside midfield, maybe to the 49.
Looks like he was looking for a deep ball and couldn't find anything. Good coverage by the Panthers on defense. And Nebo is going to take a loss, but there is a flag on the play. So we'll see what that call is. That's going to be a personal foul face mask on the offense. That's going to give Francis Howell an automatic first down. 40 seconds to go here in the first half. 28-14 Panthers lead. And the penalty will give them the first down.
36-yard line and gives you a Francis Howell Viking first down.
Pipes back in the shotgun formation. Ball handed off to Nebo. Nebo's going to drop back. It looked like he was going to pass. He stopped, and that's going to give him a little bit of time to break down the right-hand side. He's going to get out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line.
He was wrecked. I didn't see who got him, but he got wrecked.
Nice misdirection play there by Nebo. Took the handoff from Pipes. Looked like he was going to try and throw the deep ball, and then found the hole on the right side. Gained about 20 yards. Yeah, 23 seconds to go as the clock stops as the runner went out of bounds. Trips to the near side. Receiver to the far side. Pipes ready for the snap. He's going to take the option. Going to go up the middle for about 3 yards. Brings up second down as the clock continues to tick.
And
looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Howell just spent our last timeout with 17 seconds. You need one stop to keep this pretty comfortable going into halftime.
That you do. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a little bit of a recap of the first half. We'll let you listen into the festivities of halftime at a high school football game, which are incredible, if I have anything to say about it. Be 2nd and 4. And while we got a moment, Tom, why don't you talk about one of our sponsors tonight, Swim Theory.
Well, I wish I still had that up.
Oh,
the talking.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I thought you did.
I will talk a little bit more about that coming up soon. But yes, that is our presenting sponsor for today's game, Swim Theory. Swim first, then decide. SwimTheory.com. If you also do inquire about Swim Theory, you are also supporting local community that is supporting Fort Zumwalt North football.
All right, we've got 2nd and 4 here. 17 seconds to go here in the first half. 28-14 lead. Pipes will be in the shotgun formation. Nebo to his left. Pipes drops back to pass. He's going to chuck it over to the left side. Number 11 makes the catch. Cuts to the middle and is going to be brought down about the 6-yard line as the clock continues to tick down. Reed Weber with the catch. Francis Howell trying to get to the line.
They got to spike it.
First down is he actually was able to get the first down, so that is going to be able to stop the clock so they can line up. They're going to spike the ball and have one more chance.
They got one shot. The clock stopped. Now it runs.
And he's going to spike the ball with 2 seconds left.
Are they just going to kick it and take the points?
At this point, you almost have to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can. If you're down by 2, now that I think about it, Mike, you know, you're down by 2. You might as well just take the easy 3, because you could come away with nothing and still be down by 2. But well, you're down by like 1.5. You know, after you get the very crucial 3-point try here.
With 1 second to go here in the half. It's number 7, Josh Dealin, to kick the field goal. That is up, and it is good. So as we hit halftime, the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers lead Francis Howell Vikings 28-7. Tom, what do you have to say before we go to half?
Well, it's going to be a good halftime. I'm sure you'll see a lot of nice presentation by the Howell faithful, and it was a great first half. Honestly, the running was really the story of the whole game.
It really was. It really was. It was a running game, and we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors. Be right back with the halftime show.
If you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
We're back here at Francis Howell as we are at halftime of the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers and Francis Howell Vikings game. 28-17 is our halftime score. We're going to go ahead and let you guys listen into the festivities as the cheerleaders and the dance team are getting ready to take the field. And we'll be back with some first half highlights as we get closer to the second half.
But before that, as we said, this game is brought to you by Swim Theory. Swim first, then decide. It's all ages and all abilities welcome. Private and semi-private instruction for a personal connection to maximize learning. And it's also no hassle, cancellations, or reschedules. Everything they do is satisfaction guaranteed. And it's perfect for those who want to join a swim team. So keep Swim Theory in mind when you're thinking about that. Swim Theory. Swim first, then decide. SwimTheory.com. That's swim-theory.com. We'll be right back.
All right, we welcome to the field the Francis Howell varsity, Golden Girls, and company.
Tim says take the flag off.
The Francis Howell varsity, Golden Girls.
And welcome back. Panther Broadcasting powered by Prepcast. Once again, my name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Mike Wagon Connect, and our cameraman today is Gavin Anderson. It is 28-17. Francis Howell trailing Zumwalt North. And really, it's off the back of that pick six by Isaiah Hartrip.
It really is. I mean, the two teams traded touchdowns in the first and early second quarter. And after Fort Zumwalt went up 20-14, Francis Howell had great field position after the run back by Nebo. Isaiah Hartrip stepped in front of the first down pass, took it 50 yards for a pick six, and really that kind of broke the game a little bit there. I mean, Francis Howell did kick the field goal there at the end, but for Fort Zumwalt North to go up by 2 scores, essentially going into halftime, was huge for the Panthers, especially with Francis Howell getting the opening kickoff here in the second half.
Yeah, and they're going to have a chance to come back and get within a touchdown. But when you think about how the game went, really the first 2 scores, the rush by Payne, which was a bomb, the rush by Nebo, which was a bomb, and Nebo has played a little bit of quarterback, used to be his position. So, you got to look for that because they're going to throw the Wildcat at you if it keeps working.
Oh, yeah, and one of the plays in the game was him getting a ball, getting a handoff, stopping, cocking like he was going to throw the ball, and then he was able to bust it up the right-hand side for about 15 yards.
Yeah.
You have it's essentially a triple threat right there. He can run, he can catch, and he can throw.
Yeah, Nebo and Payne, they both can do it.
Exactly. So it's a great matchup tonight between these two schools, and right now the Panthers have that lead of 28-17. The thing we kind of look back to the key to the game going into this. We talked about ball possession control, making sure that you're able to retain that possession with the weather the way it was. And, we saw a couple of botched snaps here and there, but for the most part, everybody's been able to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, and the rain has died down. So I think you might see a little bit more throwing. You might see a little bit more risky plays. I'd like to see the North pull out that triple option again because it worked.
It did. It got him a touchdown.
And I want to talk about Tyler Oakes, too, because that kid, I mean, even though he's only gotten a couple touches on the ball, every time he goes for that sweep move, they're looking at him. They're saying, is this kid going to get the ball? Why not? Why aren't they giving it to him? I don't know, but Hartrip and Payne and Fattrell back there, that's a dual threat. And then you have Oakes as the safety man. Then you have Nesledge who can run, too. So I would have to say the key for North in this coming half, get a little creative. You got a 2-score lead. Get a little creative, pull out your bag a little bit, and then see if your defense can hold. For Howell, lean on the size. Because, I mean, the athleticism is kind of hurting you, wouldn't you think?
They are. I mean, but they're also their offensive line is opening holes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had the Red Sea parting there for Pipes there on his touchdown run.
Oh, yeah.
Their offensive line is opening holes for them. So they're playing into that. But you're also seeing the Panthers' defense being able to stop them. Mm-hmm. And that's big. I mean, yeah, they're giving up big runs here and there. They've given up 2 big touchdown runs. But they've also got the pick six. They also had a quick 3-and-out after scoring, which gave them a chance to go ahead 2 earlier in the game. So, the defense for the Panthers is going to be key in this second half. So,
and Coach Bacon told us, before the season, defense is kind of going to be a question mark. We're filling a lot of holes. They were senior laden on defense last year, and now they're senior laden kind of everywhere. I looked at their depth chart and I said, well, if they have a chance to win state, which they certainly do, after 5 consecutive district titles, you just got to get over the hump basically, and they have got the talent to do it. You might have to do it this year. It might, because sometimes you have those lean years and you have strong years, and everything has to work well and mesh into one. And so far, Zumwalt North doing pretty good to start out 2019-2020. And with about 2 minutes till kickoff of the second half, Mike will have quarter 3. I will have quarter 4. Gavin will still keep up on camera. Thank you, Gavin, for being a trooper tonight. We'll be right back on Prepcast.com.
You're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
And we're back here at Francis Howell on Prepcast.com, part of the Panther Network. Teams are warming up for the second half here. Just want a quick shout out to our sponsor for tonight's game. Tonight is Swim Theory. Swim Theory located on the north side of I-70 between the Mugi Road exit and the 370 exchange on Algano Road. Swim Theory is open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday for private or semi-private instruction. Swim Theory sponsoring tonight's game. We want to thank them very, very much for that. And you can follow them on Facebook or Twitter at Swim Theory. Now, Tom, we have seen a lot of the ground game tonight.
Yeah, we really have.
And like you said earlier before the break, now that the rain's gone away, are we going to see a little bit more of the air attack, especially from Francis Howell?
Well, I mean, Francis Howell, I'm going to say, probably has the better passing game. They have the taller receivers. They have the bigger line. When you look at offense and defense, compare both sides. But honestly, with the way the ball is, because it's always going to be wet now, because, I mean, it torrentially came down. The run game has worked for both teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck with it, because it's just, all right, let's lean on each other. Let's keep pushing back and forth and play hard-nosed football. You know, so we'll see how it goes, because Howell's going to get this ball to start in the third quarter. And Zumwalt North's going to have to make a stop, because if they get a touchdown on this first drive, momentum is all with Howell.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions of scoring points.
Yeah, and if my math is right, 17 plus, I don't know.
Be a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Or a 4-point game. 4-point game. Sorry.
Thank you. I was a comm major. I haven't taken a math class in 5 years.
We don't have to do math. We just have to look at the scoreboard.
Oh, man. You know, it'll be a 3-point game, so be pretty tough on North then, because then you feel the pressure to score.
Well, and like we said, it'd be back-to-back possessions that Howell would have scored. They scored the field goal at the end of the half. 1 second to go, they kicked the field goal. If they're able to come out and score on this first possession, it's back-to-back possessions that they score, and that 2-possession lead has evaporated pretty quickly. And Francis Howell has shown the ability to score quickly. You know, the 87-yard run by Nebo in the first quarter. So it can be quick strike for them. But we've seen North also shut them down pretty quickly, pretty easily. It just looks like the play selection in that first half for Francis Howell kind of gave North a little opportunity when they dropped back and did a couple of flare passes.
Yeah, and North's defense, I think on defense, their bread and butter is going to be their athletic corners and safeties, because they also double as wide receivers on offense, and their linebackers are really impressive, because even though their defensive line isn't very big, their linebackers are quick enough to get up and plug the holes.
Yeah, and they were able to get some pressure on Pipes as well, force him to not make some passes, and ended up taking a couple of little tackles for losses. So getting ready to start the second half. Owen Sears will be kicking off. Gideon Nebo is back to receive, along with, looks like Reed Weber as well. And we'll see if Sears decides to stay away from Nebo again. And he kicks it deep. And it's going to be picked up by Weber. Weber's going to bring it up into the middle. He's going to be brought down about the 25-yard line as we start the third quarter here. And we'll see what the Vikings have cooked up here to start the second half.
See how the look that Howell comes out with. If they stack that line, you know they're going to run. If they start throwing the receivers out.
Looks like they got 3 wide to the far side. I wouldn't be surprised. Fake handoff to Nebo and a throw. Nope, and they hand it off to Nebo. He's going to cut to the inside. It's going to be tackled for a gain of 3, looks like. I wouldn't have been surprised there if Howell decided to fake the handoff and go for a quick strike. And it looks like he picked up 5 on that first down run. Nebo again up the middle. He's going to be met for just a gain of 1 on that one. Brings up 3rd down.
Nebo again. Parker Monning again.
Hey, Parker Monning making a tackle.
Max Martin on the help. 3rd down.
And the Vikings are coming up run heavy right now. Check on the sideline for the play. Have 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side here. Nebo on Pipes' left. Pipes back to pass. It's going to be a screen, and that ball is going to be dropped.
You got to catch that. That hit you right in the hands.
That certainly did, and it looks like he would have been able to get free for a first down as well. Going to bring up 4th and 4. And for the Panthers, a quick 3-and-out stop, which is exactly what you wanted coming out of the half with Francis Howell getting the ball. Hartrip will be back deep to receive. Pipes will be the punter as well. And that's a high snap that's going to get near the end zone again. Pipes recovers it, and he's going to be able to get that kick off.
Decent kick.
It is a decent kick once again. And that's going to go out of bounds about the 40, and we got another flag on the play. Had a little tussle there where the ball came down at. We'll see what we get on the call here.
I think the flag was on Howell, if I'm not mistaken.
Holding on Francis Howell. And that'll be marked off after the kick, or are they going to make them re-kick? We'll see. If I was Fort Zumwalt, I would definitely take it after the kick if they have the option.
It looks like that's what they're doing, too.
That it is. So very, very good field position for the Panthers on their first possession here in the second half. A high snap, the second one we've seen tonight on a Francis Howell punt. But both times Pipes was able to get a decent kickoff.
First and 10 at the 30-yard
It'll be the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for North. Cairo Payne in the shotgun formation. Hartrip in motion to the left side. Payne's going to keep that and run it to the left. Cuts back to the middle.
Nice fake.
And was able to get some yardage out of what could have been a broken play there. He was that end was blocked off pretty well there.
Yeah, it was a really great job by Payne because I think he knew the play was broke. And then he looked around and said, okay, well, I got to tuck up and run. And he does a good job of it, too.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 as he was able to get 4 on that.
That's TJ Houston on the stop for the Vikings.
TJ Houston on the stop for Francis Howell.
6 ball at the Howell 20.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 near. Payne takes the snap as Hartrip goes in motion. And Payne's going to keep it. Pitches it forward to Hartrip, who's going to make a cut up the middle. Going to get a first down on that. And I tell you what, once again, Payne has the eyes for everything.
Yeah, I would like to see a series without Cairo Payne, just to see what it would do to the whole offense. Because honestly, it changes the whole dynamic. Because then your main weapon is Hartrip. Then you have Futrell back there. Then you have Oaks, who can be the swing man. I would, sometimes you want to say, is he going to get a rest if this game gets out of hand? I don't know.
It very well could. I mean, and you also give your backup a chance to play, get used to the system as well, because obviously you're going to have a guy that's going to be coming in. Oaks in motion. Futrell has the ball up the middle, and he's going to be stopped after a couple of yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. As Futrell gets about 3 yards. And like you said, so many weapons. Futrell, Oaks, Hartrip. You just don't know where this ball is going to go. And then you still got Payne that can run it as well. And we're seeing them spread it around all game. And that's why there's a 28-17 lead for the Panthers right now.
And I also might lend that to not a lot of these guys have a whole lot of big college offers. because it's so spread out. No one really stands out. No one jumps off the page because the team plays the way they do. And Hartrip jumps off the page. Payne does jump off the page a bit. I'm surprised Payne doesn't have a verbal commit yet, but I'm sure he will. And honestly, you just got to keep pushing if you're North, because you'll get noticed. Believe me, eventually.
And Fort Zumwalt North is going to take a timeout right now. So while we're waiting, what can you expect when you take a class with our game sponsor, Swim Theory? Swim Theory has 2 pools. The static pool is where certified instructors teach young children the fundamentals of swimming and offer water-based movement classes for adults to build endurance, strength, and mobility. Second pool is reserved for private and semi-private classes where swimmers are swimming against a current, creating an endless swim experience. This pool is also equipped with video analysis technology to record and immediately play back the lap. At Swim Theory, you can expect class size to be limited to 5 or fewer individuals and classes to be taught by experienced, competitive swimming instructors. Make sure you check out our game sponsor, Swim Theory.
And the 728 of you tuning in, thank you very much. That is Unique Households. We see those numbers in playoffs, and it's week 1.
Second and 7 here, 8:35 to go here in the third quarter, 28-17, Fort Zumwalt North lead. Cairo Payne in the shotgun formation once again. Oaks in motion. Let's see if they give him the ball. They don't. Payne steps back. He's going to throw it into the end zone. That one is going to be...
almost picked off. Oh, you got to have that.
That was...
You got to have that one.
An almost interception there for number 34, Sean Bame.
Broken up by number 34, Sean Bain.
Yeah, Sean Bain. He had that. He's coming to the ground. He's trying to corral it, and he just hits the ground and it falls out. Tough break for him. You got to have a short memory on that.
Payne was going to Tim Nesledge on that one. One of the first times we've seen them try to throw the ball here tonight.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy to see Cairo because he does have a little bit of an arm.
So 3rd and 7 now. Oaks in motion. And he is not going to get the ball as Payne's going to run it up the middle, but he's going to be stopped after a couple of yards on that. And that's going to bring up 4th down. As the clock continues to tick, 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. 4th down and 4. And we'll see the Panthers go for this here on 4th down. Get that play into Payne. And it looked like Payne really wanted to give that ball to Oaks there.
Yeah, he really did, because I saw him. He kind of held on to him for a second. And Oaks kind of looked back and goes, why didn't I get the ball?
And we're going to get a flag here for delay of game as Payne was unable to get the snap off in time. That's going to take it back to 4th and 9. Took just a little bit too long to get that play in to Payne. Forced him to not get that snap off in time. So 15 yards to pay dirt instead of just the 10. We'll see if... Looks like they're going to go for the field goal attempt now. Owen Sears in to attempt the 3-point try.
And now Owen Sears will attempt a 32-yard line.
Push 2 extra points to the right. See if he can hook that back inside. That kick is up, and it is good. Owen Sears, 3 points. 31-17 lead now for Fort Zumwalt North.
Yeah, now he shakes the demons a little bit from hitting the uprights.
Well, we talked earlier with the rain, is that plant foot slipping a little bit. He was pushing him to the right. That one was tried and true down the middle. Get your confidence back up a little bit. Gives your team a 2-score lead, a 14-point lead once again.
Yeah, and sometimes when you get into the lower classes, and really this is more for small class 5 and class 4, 3, and 2, sometimes they don't have kicking games. You got to count your lucky stars, when you're not in class 6, that you have all the athletes. Sometimes when you don't have a kicker, you're just going for 2 every time, and it's tough. And I've seen it happen. I've seen St. Charles West run where they don't have a kicking game, and they just go for 2. But they run a wishbone offense. You don't really see that all the time. And you don't see the spread option either.
Not a whole lot. As we just heard the blues anthem, the Gloria song,
I'm still on a high from that. Who is it?
And Sears is going to be back for the kickoff. Gideon Nebo, the only one back for Francis Howell. As the Francis Howell faithful get loud. That kick is pooched into the middle there. And that ball's bobbled a little bit, and Francis Howell is going to be able to recover that. As Jackson Hetzel had it in his hands, dropped it, but one of the Howell players was able to corral that and retain possession for the Vikings. That could have been dangerous right there.
Oh, yeah. Really kind of a miscommunication.
Well, and that's what those pooch kicks do, is make a player that's not used to receiving a kick handle it and then make a decision about what they're going to do and where they're going to go. And to have that decision made versus Gideon Nebo getting it, it's exactly what Fort Zumwalt North wants to do.
Yeah. I don't think Nebo has turned into a threat really too much.
And Pipes drops back to pass. Swings it to the left, to the near side, and then reverses field back up the middle. And that pass is going to eventually net just about 2 yards as Reed Weber gets the pass on the near side closest to us, cuts it all the way back to the other side of the field, goes up the middle for 2 yards. And Payne, the quarterback for the Panthers, makes the tackle.
You know, if I was a great athlete like Hard Tripper Payne, I don't know if I'd want to play two ways. Kudos to him for doing it. And sometimes you would think, well, maybe they need it, but.
And Pipes is going to fake the pass and run it up the middle. He's got a huge hole. He's at the 50, down to the 45, and he's going to be brought down from behind at about the 41-yard line of Fort Zumwalt North.
He hesitated a little bit when he got across the 50. He hesitated a little bit, and he kind of said, "What do I do?" I guess he saw somebody coming out of the side of his eye. He was clear up the sideline. And I cannot believe he didn't just take that all the way down to maybe the 10 or maybe even a score. But maybe that might be a blessing in disguise for Zumwalt North.
And Pipes once again hands the ball off to Nebo, who, he continues to hang on to it, runs it up the middle, gets about 7 yards on the first down run.
Brought down by number 78, Joey Martin.
The fake handoff on the sweep there to Nebo, and Pipes was able to run that up the middle. And it'll be 2nd down and 2 with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the near side. Pipes drops back to pass.
Here
Being
comes the
chased
pressure.
from behind. And he's going to be able to get the first down, though, as he gets across the 30-yard line. Offensive line did just enough to allow Pipes to grab the first down.
Yeah, and a good job by Pipes, too, to stand up in the pocket. You actually saw him move up. You know, he dropped back, saw the pressure, and then pinched up and tried to throw. That's a really good pro-style trait, and I would call the offense that Howell runs pretty much a pro-style spread offense.
I agree.
You know.
3 receivers to the near side. Pipes back to pass once again. Hesitates, throws it downfield, and that is going to be caught.
Did the same thing. He did the same thing, but he just kind of forced the throw a little bit, but good enough wide receiver there to go up and get it.
Caught by Jackson Hetzel.
And that's Jackson Hetzel on the catch. Brings that down to the 10-yard line. We're going to be 1st and goal.
And give you a Francis Howell Viking.
And Hetzel used his size there. Pipes again outside. That ball is going to be dropped by Reed Weber as that just slips through his hands.
2nd and goal.
They had Weber on a flare out there. It just went right through his hands.
That's a wheel route. He was the slot man. He comes under the X receiver, and then he goes basically into the sideline and cuts up on a kind of a sloping cut. An arc. Actually, it's called an arc. An arc cut up to the pylon. So a nice idea there by Howell.
We've seen more of the passing game from Pipes here as he stops, heads it off to Nebo, who's going to run up the middle, avoids a couple tackles, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown for the Vikings.
It's a whole new ball game.
Gideon Nebo.
Couple of arm tackles broken, and he's in the end zone for 6.
He was stopped by his jersey for probably 2 or 3 seconds, swatted it with his hand.
Oh,
and
and we
got
got a
away.
penalty flag on the play, holding on the offense. So that's going to take the touchdown off the board. And that is not what Francis Howell wanted right there. Going to drop that back 10 yards, so first and goal from about the 20. 5:07 to go here in the third quarter. So the Vikings will try this again. Panthers will try to prevent the touchdown this time.
Well, first and 20. Watch the deep pass.
And like I said, the passing game's been there this half. That ball right through the hands of the linebacker. And the ball is out. And the Panthers have recovered the ball as Reed Weber had the ball caught and it was stripped. And the Panthers are going to recover.
I didn't see who recovered it. I think it might have been Futrell. No, it was Cairo.
And Cairo Payne still making plays on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Huge swing of momentum right there.
Yeah, that's a really big swing. You went from having a touchdown, it's a game, to, oh, now we could turn it into a running clock. Yeah.
And 5 minutes here in the third quarter. 31-17 Panthers lead as they get the ball back at their own 14.
At their own 14-yard line.
And 3 receivers wide to the far side. Snap to Payne. He's going to hang on to the ball. Cuts it up the middle, makes a man miss. And he's going to be brought down just inside the 20. It's about 21-yard line, a gain of 6. And he made Max Wilson there just freeze.
Yeah, I mean, Cairo is a very shifty guy. He's tough to bring down, and sometimes, especially last year, he was used in the running game. You know, because North had, up until, I think, actually the year before, Cade Brister. You know, and Cade Brister now playing quarterback at Lindenwood, so
Yes.
Good adjustment by Cairo.
Same formation, Oaks in motion. Payne's going to hang on to the ball, out to the left side. Evades a tackle and still running. Going to gain the first down as he crosses the 25-yard line. Continues to break tackles. And it's pretty much one of those things. We'll just keep running it this way until you can show you can stop us.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not so sure that Coach Bacon is concerned with scoring in this quarter because he's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and he hasn't moved a whole lot on this drive. So it's kind of dink and dunk football from here on out, I would think.
Control the clock. Don't let Francis Howell back on there for that quick strike offense. Hartrip in motion again. He's going to get the ball, sweeps it out, makes a cut, spin move, and he's going to be brought down near the first down marker.
Great run.
That was, what, the X button on the PlayStation right
Yeah,
there. Spin move.
X button on the Xbox, too. But I'd like to see Isaiah come out of the backfield a little bit. I mean, I know on the depth chart, he's not even listed as the backup halfback. The backup halfback, believe it or not, from Chris Futrell is Parker Monning. So.
And 2nd and 1 right now. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
They're expecting the pass. They're backing off.
Oaks in motion. Payne keeps it, runs it up the middle, almost dragged down from behind, still on his feet, pushing forward
Truck stick.
to the 47-yard line. Needed 1, got 8.
Right before he got brought down, lowered his shoulder, slammed it into another Howell defender. That's what you call truck stick. Oh, man. Remember how hard that was to do in the early Madden games?
Most definitely.
To tackle somebody and you wanted to hit him, you couldn't do it.
Many broken controllers
Yes.
playing Madden.
You're going, boom, boom, get it. And he's like, no, it won't do it.
And we got a first down here, 2:20 to go in the third quarter. 31-17 Panthers lead. Payne ready for the snap once again. Oaks in motion. And he's going to get the ball to the left side. Evades the tackle and is going to be brought down for about a 1-yard loss. one of Oaks' first touches of the game.
Oaks being brought down by number 88, Brett.
Oaks does have a touchdown on the game.
Loss of 1.
But once again, this is all about clock control. And you've got a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, you don't have to score. Just let it tick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let it tick down to 1, 2, or 3. And if I was Cairo, I'd be like, don't watch the defense. Just watch the clock because we know we can run. You know.
And once again, 3 receivers to the near side, nothing on the far side. Hartrip in motion. He has the ball on the left-hand side, makes a cut, and he is down inside Vikings territory, down to about the 47-yard line. It'll be about 3rd and 4 or 5.
Francis Howell 48-yard line now, where it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 5.
And this is a big play right here as we click in under a minute on the 3rd quarter. First down here would do wonders for the Panthers' psyche with a 14-point lead. Hartrip in motion once again. He's got the ball. Quick sweep outside, but he is going to be stopped for a loss. He has nowhere to go as a ton of blue and yellow uniforms are able to meet him, drop him for a loss.
He's dropped for a loss, but did you see that stiff arm? Man, he just said, get out of my way.
Joel Hagley, Max Wilson.
And that's going to bring up 4th and 8. And now Nebo
4th down.
and Hetzel will be back for the punt.
Ball now back in Panther territory.
And somebody has called a timeout. Haven't gotten a signal yet as to who it is.
Looks like it was North.
North called one earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's right there. Well, the refs are going over to North. Looks like Joe Bacon wants a
Quick word there. And it is Labor Day weekend, and after Monday, area pools like Alligator Creek will be closed till next summer. But if you can't wait that long to go swimming, again, visit swim-theory.com. The first visit is on us. Then decide. Looks like we got another water break.
Okay. I thought that had something to do with the heat. I guess no, not in the first week.
Got to make sure these kids stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And looks like we're going to switch over to the 4th quarter, and Tom Hartbeck's going to take the call back. 31-17, Fort Zumwalt North as we start the 4th quarter.
North 31, Francis Howell 17.
Can I get that? Yeah. Thanks. Here's yours. Well, as we start, Nebo and Hetzel back deep. And it's Hartrip to kick. Here they come. Get it off, good punt. It's back. It is coffin kicked. It bounces, and it is into the end zone for a touchback.
And that's a second great punt by Hartrip tonight, even though it was a touchback. Didn't give Nebo a chance to return it and set up Francis Howell with good field position. So another great punt by Isaiah Hartrip.
Yeah, Hartrip's had a good leg tonight from punt. I wouldn't think he would be in the punter because there are 2 kickers listed on on North's roster, and I think the other one, if he wasn't kicking, would be punting, but I guess not. Sometimes you need an athlete back there.
Well, if you think about it, too, if you got a guy that's an athlete that can punt, it just gives you another guy on the field that can make a tackle and get down the field as well.
Pipes, back to pass. He's looking, steps up in the pocket, throws it deep. It is long. It is broken up by Hartrip. And intended on the play was Jackson Hetzel. He was in the middle of the H. But Isaiah Hartrip just got up and said, no fly zone.
And you're saying the same names over again. Payne, Hartrip, people like that. they're all over the field and they're making plays.
Hurry up offense set up here by Howell. 2nd and 10, ball on the 20.
Down, 2nd and 10.
11:47 to go. Cornerbacks are pinched in. It is a fake handoff to Nebo in which Pipes goes up and gets a small gain.
Flags on the fake to Nebo.
Really good job so far by the North defense. Coach Joe Bacon said it might be a question mark for us. You're playing a Class 6 team that's probably got a foot better in size on you. You're holding them to a 14-point lead. Pipes back to pass again. 3rd down and 8. Throws this one deep. Has a man. It is picked off by Isaiah Hartrip. He's going to go to the far side of the field across the 40. He gets over to the 30, down to the sideline, and across to the 20, and is pushed out of bounds.
2nd pick of the game for Hartrip.
Yeah, one of them was a pick 6. Cole Lidekin pushes him out for Howell. But now North has a chance to probably put this one away.
Well, and that's the beauty of being able to have a multiple score lead, is you know that a team like Howell's going to have to go out there and throw the ball down the field. So it gives your defense a little bit more of a safety net in knowing what's coming. And when you got athletes out there like an Isaiah Hartrip, it just, things like that are going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And Isaiah is just a big athlete. That's what he is. And I think he actually committed to SIU as an athlete.
5-yard line of Francis Howell. 1st and 10. Panther.
1st and 10 Panthers. Ball on the 25 is where they mark them out. Man in motion is Oaks. Handoff up the middle. Ball comes out. It's a fumble, and Howell got it right back.
Recovered by number 8.
Howell gets it right back, and they're still in this one.
And that looked like it was one of those things that wasn't sure. Indecisiveness right there. Wasn't sure if he was handing it off. Wasn't sure if he was going to keep it because that ball just kind of just dropped out.
Yeah, it did kind of drop out, but when I saw it, it came out of a mishmash of people. So, must have been something we couldn't see. Tough break there by the offense of Zumwalt North, and now Howell has a chance to redeem themselves. It is a quarterback keeper from Pipes. Storms forward for about 4.
Pipes up the middle.
Second down and 4, ball on the 32.
That's a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
10:39 to go here in the 4th quarter. Back to pass, Pipes has Nebo on the near side. He's going to keep it, fire forward, and falls down, getting about 8.
Pipes around the right side.
Close to the 1st down. We'll see if they're going to go ahead and give him the 1st down.
That's generous. Looked to me like his knee was down a yard or 2 before. But that's a Viking 1st down. 31-17, 10:20 to go as the clock continues to tick. 1st and 10 from the 37 here in the 4th quarter as Pipes gets signals. Nebo switches to the other side. And it's a handoff to Nebo up the middle. Gets through the secondary, up to midfield, fights forward for a few more. And he's wrestled down by about 3 Panthers before we'll do it again.
And Nebo just made one move, and before you know it, he was 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, he is quick. Can't believe this kid used to be a quarterback. 3 to the left, 1 to the right for Pipes. Takes a look, back to pass. 3-step drop, throws this one deep. It is over everybody's head. Intended there on the plate for Reed Weber. Weber, the 5'10", 165 junior. Only one player in the Post-Dispatch Super 30 on the field tonight. It's an offensive lineman for Francis Howell. A little surprising coming from Zumwalt North, too. It's again another keeper by Pipes. Doesn't get much.
Are you going to leave us in suspense? Do you know who the player is?
It's 74. It's Donovan Kuhn. 6'2", 240.
Ooh.
Third and 2 from the 40.
Same formation, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Keeper, option play, and here come the Panthers. Nothing going. 9:05 to go in this one. 31-17. And it's 3rd and 2 from the 40 is where they'll spot it. You got to score about right now if you want to have any chance.
Be 4th and about 5 from the
Now they'll mark it 4th and 5.
43.
Safety's pinch for North. Last-ditch effort for Howell. Pipes up the middle, and he is brought down with 8:39 to go. He'll be short. North will take over.
To about the 44. That will
And you might want to start dimming the lights on this one.
support Zumwalt North.
And that's size of Francis Howell. Kept Pipes up there for a little bit, but the Panthers' speed was able to put pressure on him, and they were able to get him down. And the coverage on the backside has been excellent tonight. Hasn't been a whole lot of room for Pipes to throw when he's been wanting to throw. And 2 picks tonight as well. Just a testament to the backside of the defense.
Yeah, the defense has been fast. I know they're small, but being small and fast, sometimes it works on a big team. CBC's proven that when they've won state, they're always small on defense. Vianney, same thing. 3 to the far side, 1 to the left, as this is going to be a keeper from Cairo Payne. He gets around the outside, gets the first down, gets a little bit more, drags tacklers, and then he is tackled from in front of him, and he'll get down to about the 40.
Brought down by Jack.
Actually, they'll say 45-yard line.
First down for Zumwalt North. Francis Howell territory at the
And now the clock
42-yard line.
will stop. They mark it at the 42. Give them forward progress. Spread formation again for Cairo Payne as Futrell sets up behind him offset. Cornerbacks are pinched in, and we get a flinch on the line. False start on the offense.
Motion is the call.
As soon as Hartrip went into motion, you saw him start, stop, drop his head, and go, yep, we were off. False start there.
Yeah, he's like, I know it.
But the positive out of that, time came off the clock.
Yes, time did come off the clock. Clock's still ticking. We're down to 8 minutes. 1st and 15 from the 47 now. 31-17, North with the lead here in the 4th quarter. 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Cairo Payne. Man in motion is Isaiah Hartrip. He sets up. This is a counter play. Hartrip gets around the outside, pushes forward, and he will not get anything on that play. He might have got back to the line, if that.
Hartrip on the carry.
And while you want to get yardage, obviously, at this point in the game, 2-touchdown lead, you just want that clock to run
Yes.
and run and run.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. Just keep on ticking. Come on.
No gain. Well, gain maybe at 1.
They give him 1 yard. 2nd and 14, ball on the 46.
14 Panthers.
7-10
Ball at the 46.
to go here in the 4th quarter. 2 on each side. Tim Nesledge at top of your screen and Hartrip at the bottom. Man in motion is Oaks. It is going to be a reverse play to Hartrip. Hartrip around the outside, up to the top of your screen, gets the first down. He takes a little bit of a tiptoe, and now he pushes forward for a little bit more, and he keeps it up. And that is a big first down for Zumwalt North.
Hartrip on the carry.
And we got a player down here on the north side.
Well,
That's Sean
Oaks
Bailey
is
on the
standing,
sack, number 34.
and turning over is number 70 for North.
Injury timeout.
That is Adam Lewis, senior.
And while they're attending to the injury, we'll take a quick break.
You're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
Sorry about that, folks. We're back. Injured player is Adam Lewis. He's getting up and walking off under his own power. So that looks good. His backup is Jalen Owens, number 71, the senior. And while we got a quick chance, Mike, why don't you set up Saturday and Sunday for us on prepcast.com?
Yeah, so tomorrow we have some makeup games. Lindbergh and Melville will be at 10 o'clock. We have John Burroughs and Soldan tomorrow at 12:45, 1 o'clock start. Trinity at Lutheran North, 7 o'clock start time. And on Sunday, Parkway Central will take on Summit at 3 o'clock. So just because they rained out today doesn't mean you're going to miss out on any football. Huge weekend this weekend on prepcast.com.
Trips to the left side for Cairo Payne. Takes a couple claps. Defense isn't coming, but it's going to be an option play. Payne up the middle, and he'll tick off more time. 6:25 to go here in the fourth. Still 31-17. I think this is good coaching by Joe Bacon. He could go for the score, go for the running clock, even if. But no, I'm just going to dink. I'm going to dunk. But I have noticed too, he has not put in his scrubs either.
Oh no, it's with Francis Howell being so quick on offense, you don't want to run the risk of anything right now. It's still just a 2-touchdown lead, still time, so you don't want to.
3 wide receivers set. It is Hartrip. He bounces into the inside, runs up the middle, turns a little bit after the first down, and he's brought down by a host of Vikings on another good run by Isaiah Hartrip. So far, he's the player of the game.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Two picks, a pick six, another touchdown on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has been all over the place.
And I'm surprised because Cairo, you look at him and you look at his stats and you say how much he does. You say, oh, he's their whole team. If you're outside of Zumwalt North and you're looking at him on STL today, he's their whole team. Stop him, you can stop him. But no, they've got tons and tons of weapons. 5:25 to go. 1st and 10, ball on the 14. North going in for a score. They are 4 yards from goal to go. Man in motion is Oaks. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Futrell as he lowers his head and powers forward for about 7.
The ability to pound it with Futrell.
Yeah, Futrell is kind of a X factor in the back because, hey, our speed guys aren't working. All right, well, let's run it down their throat. It is 2nd and 3, ball on the 7.
Ball is inside the 8, close to the 7-yard line.
31-17 North. Trips right. Oaks in motion. It is a handoff for a keeper to Payne, actually. He won't get anywhere. I still don't understand why they aren't handing it off to Oaks on that play. He's wide open every time. I'm going to have to talk to Coach Bacon on Wednesday about that play because I've seen them run it, 4 and 5 times, and he's always open. He just never, ever gets the ball on that pitch.
I mean, I would run something along the lines of fake it to him,
Well,
and then roll out and then toss it to him.
Yeah, well, if he gets the ball on the play, it's essentially a triple option play. But seems to be working, so don't fix it. 3rd and 2, ball on the 6. It is Futrell, and he only gets about maybe 3 or 4. Actually,
might give him 1st and goal right there.
Yeah, that's 1st and goal. But it looks like Isaiah Hartrip actually with the run. Clock continues to tick.
And this game couldn't have gone any perfectly for North.
Oh, no, it couldn't have. I think Coach Joe Bacon said he had a little bit of reservations, but I think everything All the boxes have been checked on offense and defense. Ball on the 2. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Payne up the middle, handed off to Futrell. He fights forward, and he is in. Touchdown. 37-17 with 3:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. And that's a 3-touchdown lead, so running clock. If my math is right. Is my math right?
It'll be a 3-touchdown lead when they make the extra point.
Yes. Oh, man. You're going to have to deal with that all year, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm horrible at math.
That's okay. In the analyst role, I can actually write the math down and make sure it's right.
Kick is up, snap, and it is good. 38-17. And it's Sears with the extra point. He's kind of shaked off his demons tonight.
He really has.
Yeah, he started out kind of bad. He got a couple good kicks in, and he converted his last 2 extra points. So shake it off, buddy.
Invoking some Taylor Swift there, are we?
Don't say that name to me. Don't say that name.
Hey, we got to keep it relevant. We got to, interact with the youth as well.
Oh, yeah. 34-27 was the score last year. And North won in overtime. 7-4 last year for Howell. 10-2 for Zumwalt North. So back deep for Howell is going to be Gideon Nebo and Reed Webster. All ones back in the back. And kicking for Zumwalt North is going to be Owen Sears again. Sears, backhand up. Here's the kick. It is low. It is rolling. It is touched. And he is down around the 25-yard line. So a nice kick there by Owen Sears. That didn't even get off the ground.
And while we're waiting for the teams to come out for the next possession, just want to thank the team out at Swim Theory for sponsoring the broadcast of the season opener. Really appreciate them taking the time to invest in the athletes out here on the field as well as the swimmers. So please take a moment to like Swim Theory on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at Swim Theory.
First and 10, Francis Howell from their own 27-yard line.
First and 10, Howell from the 27 here in the fourth quarter. 38-17. This is a handoff to Nebo. Up the middle, doesn't go nowhere. And, I think we can start talking now. Big credit to Isaiah Hartrip and also Cairo Payne. And, you have the dark horse in probably 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, Futrell definitely
Futrell
has really helped on the offensive side.
Back to pass, Pipes. Takes a look. Pressure doesn't phase him. It's incomplete. Looking on the play for Carter Rosenberger.
But I definitely think Isaiah Hartrip today is the player of the game. He's got to be. I mean, you look at what Cairo Payne has done in managing the game, and it's been a great game for him as well. But Hartrip on both sides of the ball has really made a difference.
Oh, yeah. And it's tough because Hartrip, as Nebo gets the direct snap. Oh, here he goes. Across to the 50, stays on his feet. And he is caught in between the 50 and the 55.
I think that's going to be something that Coach Bacon's going to want to look at going into next week's game against West.
I agree.
A lot of room in the middle of the field there, up the middle most of the game.
Yeah, well, West doesn't have the weapon like Nebo, but West kind of likes to throw the ball a little bit. They don't have a great running game, but the passing game at West has always been good. As Piper throws this one wide open, caught.
Complete to number 88, Brett Northleaf.
And that was Brett Northleaf on the catch.
That's another Francis Howell Viking.
And it looks like Francis Howell is going to go for a score here on this one.
Still 2 minutes to go, and you can score quick. Nothing. This game isn't over just yet.
Trips right, pipes back the pass, floats it far sideline. It is almost picked off.
Broken up there very, very nicely.
And somebody's hobbling to get up. That looked like, if my eyes are correct. Yeah, Jeremiah Dickerson, just about to say it. Second down and 10. Ball on the 25. A minute 50 to go. 4 wide receivers set. It is a quarterback keeper, and that won't do anything. I'm really surprised the scrubs have not come in this game on either side, though. With a minute 37 to go, I guess you figured it was a winnable game for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's still a winnable game, but I don't see Hartrip out there right now. I don't see Payne out there either.
Back to passes, pipes, takes a look, steps up in the pocket, gets away from pressure. He keeps it, and he'll fall forward as he almost gets the first down.
Tackled by Robert Rezek, number 23. Fourth down from the 19-yard line.
1 minute to go, 38-17. Francis Howell North. Back to pass, pipes, throws this one out across the field, down the sideline, and he is in for the score. Nice catch and run by Reed Webster.
Complete to Reed Weber. 19-yard touchdown pass.
38-23 with 45 seconds to go.
And that right there, this drive right here, is probably what you would have seen from Francis Howell all game.
I agree.
Outside of the rain.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that drive also will be the focus of Coach Bacon's film, because that drive you didn't have your scrubs in on that play, but hey, here's what we did wrong, As the kick is up and good, 38-24 with 45 to go.
And you'll probably be looking for an onside kick here from Francis Howell. Still 45 seconds to go.
We trying to recreate the Good Gosh Almighty play or something now? Oh, man.
I don't think this is a state championship game
No,
or anything like that.
It's not, but I did see one of the best high school football games I'd ever called here. It was Howell and Blue Springs South. And it was back and forth, and in the fourth quarter, Blue Springs South didn't let Howell have the ball.
Oh, wow.
They ran the ball and would physically try and get, 3 yards, and then get 5. And it was just demoralizing. And Blue Springs South that year actually ended up going on to win the state title. That was back in 2015.
Oh, back in the old days.
Well, I mean, it was almost 5 years ago now. It's been it's hard to believe it's been almost 10 years since the Cardinals won the World Series.
It's true.
Doesn't matter anymore because Blues won. To kick, it is a onside kick. Bounces off a couple Panthers. The ball is still alive. Who has it? Looks like North will have it back around their own 30.
And at this point, with just 43 seconds left, you're looking... I mean, Francis Howell does have all 3 of their timeouts still, so you're not going to necessarily kneel.
No.
So you got to run some plays, but just hang on to the ball, and that should all she writes.
I'm not so sure that they're going to use the timeouts either, to be honest with you. But Howell played a great game. North, I think, the edge was their athletes.
Yeah.
You looked at how the multiple threats they had, and then I looked at Howell. I said, well, who's their threat? It's probably just Nebo. And Nebo, it wasn't enough of a impact to really push them toward anything. It looks like victory formation is the call. And the clock will just run with 40 seconds. They have to play this out. There's no come into the field at the end of the game like the pros do. I saw players literally come in with 2 minutes left once.
Wow.
Well, it was like 45 to. It was like a big loss. Like Cardinals playing or something, but I don't know. But that will do it. Both teams saying that's enough. Before the clock will hit 0, that'll be the final. Zumwalt North 38 and Howell 24. And we are expecting Coach Joe Bacon to come up and talk to us a little bit. But before he does that, and we're sure it'll be a couple of minutes, what do you think of the first game? Not bad.
You know, not bad with the weather that we had.
And as the rain starts coming down.
But with the fact that it was raining tonight, it was interesting to see what the game plan was going to be. And yes, we're probably going to see this sort of game plan week in and week out with Zumwalt North. But it's good to see that they were able to execute in the elements and execute correctly.
Yeah.
They didn't have a whole lot of issues as far as fumbles. Yeah, one fumble lost, another bad snap that led to a punt. But overall, it's just a great team game, and you saw what the playmakers that the Panthers have this year, and there's multiples. And it could be 1 week it's Isaiah Hartrip, the next week it's Cairo Payne, and who knows, after that it could be Oaks or Futrell or somebody else. They just have a lot of players on this team that can make plays.
Yeah, and I'm hoping if Coach does come up, I mean, I wouldn't blame him since it's raining down, though we've told him he needs to come up. But I think is this him walking up right here on the other side? No, I think he's going to talk to the team first. But heck of a game played by Hartrip, played by Payne, Futrell contributing. I mean, what would you like to hear him say? Was it the defense he wants to work better? I wouldn't say there was anything really bad about the game except for the rain. Because I think the rain contributed to a lot of Howell's points, and the rain I don't think the rain played as much of a factor with North as well.
No, I don't, because you look at North's game and it's run based, whereas you look at Francis Howell, and you saw it more in the second half after the rain dissipated, was they are more of an air attack team. So they couldn't essentially throw in that first half.
Yeah.
And that really hurt Francis Howell. They're going to be a team that's going to be there at the end of the year.
I think so, too.
So I think North got lucky in the sense that they played them now and got lucky with the storm in the sense that they didn't have to face the full Francis Howell attack.
I agree.
And they got the win, and that's what they needed. They came in here, they got the win, they set themselves up nicely for their game next week against Fort Zumwalt West, which will be at North. So make sure you guys come out and join us there next Friday night.
Yeah.
If not, listen on prepcast.com.
I love your plug style, man. And as we're waiting for Coach Joe Bacon to come up, they're doing a little bit of post-game stretches. Not a whole lot of talk going on. So it's going to be a couple minutes. Until then, we will take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Panther Broadcasting on prepcast.com.
If you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip in one of our luxury coaches, Vandalia Bus Lines can get you there. You might be interested in a tour of the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, or maybe a weekend vacation with a group of friends to cheer on the Tigers in Columbia or the Illini in Champaign. Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area, 800-542-4287.
And we're back here at Francis Howell. A 38-24 Fort Zumwalt North victory. Waiting on Coach Joe Bacon to pop into the press box to talk a little bit about what he saw in this game. Once again, we've got a full slate coming up this weekend. The rain has kind of moved some games around. So we're going to have some games tomorrow and on Sunday. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you can catch Lindbergh and Melville. At 1 o'clock, Burroughs will take on Soldan. And at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, Trinity will be at Lutheran North. Then on Sunday at 3 o'clock, Parkway Central will be at Summit. And then every week after that, we're going to have a bunch of football games every Friday night, Saturday. We also have our affiliates out in the Kansas City area as well, so you can check out those games. If you missed this game or you want to hear it again, make sure you go to the archives later on tonight and in the weeks to come, and you can hear Tom Hartbeck and I, Michael Wagenknecht, on the call, as you'll hear us the rest of the season. Next week we are at home against Fort Zumwalt West.
And I just got to give a shout out to Gavin because I just asked him to go flag down coach, and he just went out there with no umbrella, no jacket, nothing. This kid just bolts out of the press box, goes down the stands, and is trying to flag down coach. I hope he doesn't hurt himself. I hope he gets into a good position because he did not have to do that. I just said maybe go out, go and wave at him or something. Wow. Good job, Gavin. You certainly earned it today, buddy.
The Panthers are celebrating their victory. They'll go to 1-0 on the early season.
Yeah, and Howell falls to 0-1. Looking at what Howell has coming up, they have, I believe, they go to another GAC opponent. If I can get my schedule up here. Man, it's jumbled book.
I do not have a schedule in
No,
there.
there's no schedule in the book. Honestly, that's kind of different. Well, actually, no, here. Well, football has a roster. But anyway, it'll be a good one. But last year, when you look at what Howell did, they went 7-4. They only lost to Rockbridge twice, Kirkwood, and Zumwalt North. This is not a bad team. Those are all really good teams. But it's kind of tough when you are playing in weather like this to win a war of attrition. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, you're
especially when you are a pass-based team. They're actually going to be hosting Kirkwood next week.
Kirkwood. So that's going to be so they have 2 straight games at home, and that'll be a good game too because Kirkwood is a run and shoot offense.
That they are.
And now it doesn't compare to the Turkey Day game, but I think this Howell team will regroup. If you can watch them, they're big enough. They can compete in Class 6. It's just unfortunate because they have to play the hardest district all the time in Class 6. They have to go play Zumwalt West, then they got to go play Timberland, then they have to go across the state. They got to go play Jeff City, and then go play Rockhurst. That's their district.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. And a lot of people will say, well, that's why Zumwalt West didn't win a state title when they had T.J. Moe, because they were loaded. They were loaded when T.J. Moe was playing for West, and it's just unfortunate that you have a stacked district all the time.
Yeah, but it also breeds great competition too.
Oh yeah, and North the same way. I think kind of lucks out in their district because there's a lot of schools around them. They play a lot of. They play East. They play. Oh no, East isn't. East is Class 5.
Right. They will be playing East this year though.
Yeah. And then they play. The Souths. They play Howell like this, even though it's not in their district. But this is a test game for them.
Yep.
If you can beat this team, you can beat a Vian, who just won state in Class 5. You can go play a Fort Osage, I think, maybe, and beat them because Vianney runs a veer almost. They run a 7-man line, 2 backs, and a quarterback. That's it. And so it's tough. So as we're waiting for Coach Joe Bacon to come up, giving an awful long talk to his players, it's been a good one. Hopefully we will be able to get him on camera. But a great job done by him today.
And we'll just give one more shout out to our sponsor for today's game, Swim Theory.
And thank you for sponsoring today's game.
Steve George wrote a Facebook review, when I was introduced to Swim Theory, I was skeptical. My 3 girls are swimmers and compete in Lake St. Louis. We tried one session, and I have to say that the coaches were professional and knowledgeable. The technology used was awesome, and all 3 received better times after just one visit. If you want your kids to receive ribbons in the top 3 places, Swim Theory will get you there. And attention triathlon athletes, Swim Theory's next 2-hour triathletes clinic will be Saturday, September 21st. Visit swim-theory.com to learn more about the event. The first visit is on us, then decide. That's Swim Theory. Thank you again for sponsoring.
And they are still not breaking it up. So it looks like a lot of probably good talk from Coach Joe Bacon. And I don't think this would be over in 30 seconds. I mean, it's taking a little bit, you know. Yeah. Oh, let's just spitball a little bit here. Where you got plan on going when you come home, dude?
Oh, going to bed.
Going to bed, eating some Chick-fil-A.
Maybe.
If that was my job, I couldn't eat Chick-fil-A.
I've been there 8 years and I still eat it. Yep. That I do. So, but like I said, once again, we got Fort Zumwalt West coming up next week, so that's going to be another test game.
Yeah, I think that will be a test game for them. And when you look at their schedule, and I got to go to Twitter to look at it, but it's very favorable if I have to look at North's prospective games coming up, because honestly, sometimes you don't see a challenge, you know, and especially it's hard to call 38-23 a challenge, but you got North, Central, Liberty, South, Washington East, and then you have Timberland, Class 6 team, and then Francis South Central, Class 6 team. Tough schedule in St. Charles County. Tough schedule in St. Louis. Maybe, you know. So hopefully Coach can put it all together this year, and we are waiting on him to come up as the players have broke. I don't know where Gavin is. And somebody's car alarm's going off. You might want to check that. So, Coach, I don't know where he's at.
Well, while we're waiting for him,
Yeah.
we'll actually put the interview that we had with him early on this week back on.
Yeah.
Let you hear about what he was talking about coming into this game. And when he comes up here, we will cut in and interview Coach Joe Bacon in just a few minutes.
Yeah, Mike, I have that for you. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Tom Hartbeck sitting down with Coach Joe Bacon again. Thanks, Coach, for sitting down with me.
Yeah, you bet.
It's officially week 1.
It is finally.
How happy is everybody for that?
They're pretty excited, and it's obviously a huge challenge on our hands going against Francis Howell right out of the gates. And so that's tough. There's absolutely no easing into the season, so we got to make sure we're ready to roll from the first snap.
Speaking of Howell, Class 6, so it's a class above. Lately, that hasn't mattered for you guys. They have an offensive lineman in the Super 30.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a very good offensive line as well. What are the main challenges going into week 1, do you think, just off the top of your head?
I think for both teams, a few things is just being sharp at what they're supposed to do. They're going to know what to do, but at the same time, your first game of the year, and emotions are going to be real high. And so being able to execute fast, aggressive, and do your job well, probably that's going to be a challenge for both teams. And then also both teams are real strong up front, and so I expect a real physical game. And then there's the conditioning aspect of it too, because you can condition real hard in practice, but nothing can equate to going through a football game and just how much that drains your body.
Yeah, and it's hot, this first week.
Yeah.
So you're officially number 6 in large schools in St. Louis, and there's nobody in Class 5 above you. There's a lot of high expectations with the student body, the parents, and the kids as well. How do you guys handle that? Because it's been high the past few years.
For sure. So those rankings, they're fun to look at, but honestly, they mean nothing, really, right?
Yeah.
So the ranking at the end of the year is based on what you've actually done, and the rankings right now are just based on what previous kids have done or what people think you might do. And so I think our kids understand the numbers really at this point are pretty meaningless. And it's up to us to prove that we deserve whatever number, and Howell's going to be trying to do the same thing.
You guys are a little bit on the small side. How do you guys compensate, for maybe bigger teams like Howell?
So, I mean, size is great, especially in college. And in high school, it's great too. But I would take a team that's maybe a little bit smaller and that's athletic and strong and aggressive. And not that Howell's not any of those things. I mean, they're good across the board. But just because we're a little bit smaller, we don't really feel like that's a big disadvantage for us.
The headline on STL Today did read, North leans on O-line as Payne switches to QB. I think that's a pretty good assessment of the team so far.
Yeah, I would say of all the groups within the team, the offensive line is the one for sure with the most experience. I mean, all five of those guys were starting for us last year, and so it would make sense for us to lean on them, and that's in the run game and the pass game, and just kind of establishing our identity up front of being aggressive and grinding hard through the whole game.
Mm-hmm. And Cairo at QB too. That's got to be an asset.
Yeah, definitely having a dual threat quarterback that can run as well as throw the ball. And I feel like we've had that the last several years, and as a triple option team, you pretty much have to. So
Yeah.
You can't have Peyton Manning back there as great as it sounds. So having somebody that can do the things that we need him to do as well as Cairo does is going to be a good strength for us. So our focus is how in the world did we try to start off 1-0 this year and play as well as we can against Howell. I mean, week 2, once it starts, like, West is real good, and then Parkway Central is real good, and I can keep on going down the line. So it's no disrespect to those teams, but for us, our season is 1 week long, and it's this week right now.
You have any concerns about starting on the road?
Well, I mean, there's some drawbacks to it. We don't really mind playing on the road, though, because you get on the bus and kind of isolates you from everything, and you get into that rhythm, and I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's been a while since we've played in a game where you can't really hear each other talking. I think that might be what's going on Friday night. So that might be a little bit of a plus for Hal, just having all those people there backing them. But at the same time, I think that'll probably get our guys pretty amped up too.
All right, Coach. Well, it looks like you guys are full steam and ready to go. We'll see you next week.
All right, sounds
Thanks.
good. Thank you.
What is it about the kids on the team that makes them respond well to how you guys coach them?
I think a big part of it is that we as coaches truly do believe in it also. It's not just, hey, we think character is good for you guys. Us, it's not all that important. So we really do try to live it out. And an example would be I've done push-ups before for cussing because it's not like cussing's bad for you guys, but I get to make exceptions for myself. I mean, the guidelines we have in place for the boys are the guidelines we have in place for us as well because
And welcome back. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Well, Coach Joe Bacon is indisposed tonight. At a rainy night, I'm not surprised he wants to get out of here. So for my partner, Mike Wagenknecht, our cameraman, Gavin Anderson, my name's Tom Hartbeck. Final score, Zumwalt North 38, Francis Howell 24. Zumwalt North goes to 1-0 on the season. And we will see you next time on Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.com, and thank you to Swim Theory.